G'day everyone, Jake Mckeown here and welcome back to Steel Noise Podcast. On today's episode, my guest is Teka Wilson, or formerly known as Brett Wilson, but I reckon only his parents call him that, so we'll just go with Teka. Now Teka grew up with horses and worked with cattle down here on the south coast of New South Wales, and this led to him having a career in bullfighting, which during this episode he'll explain more, so I'll leave that to him. Now he was 13-time Australian Bullfighting Champion across 3 different associations. His career as a rodeo clown also took him to the USA, where he trained and worked with some of the world's finest. Aside from bullfighting, Teka is a father, a husband, a musician and songwriter, and has travelled to the far corners of the earth. Me and Teka sat in here and exchanged stories for hours, so due to the length of our conversation, I've made this episode in 2 parts. Right now, you're listening to part 1, and I'll release part 2 shortly after, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, let's get on with it, and I'm going to introduce you to Teka Wilson. G'day, Teka.
Hey, mate.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Great.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Even better now that I finally wrangled you in and got you in here to come and have a chat. You're a hard man to track down sometimes.
Well, it's family and work and life. You know how it goes.
Busy man. How's things in general?
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm living away, doing a bit of work away at the moment, which isn't obviously my preference, but
yeah, of course.
Paying the bills right now, so it's good.
That's good. What do you do for work again?
Operator.
Like excavators.
Yeah, heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Anything that digs dirt or has hydraulics, pretty much.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Beautiful.
All licensed up. Cheers,
sir.
Thank you.
Very good. Let's see if we
I haven't seen you have turkeys. You're a beer drinker normally, eh?
Usually. Cheers, mate.
Good on you.
Thank you very much for coming in. So, actually, I got a question. Is it true that you used to be sponsored by Bundaberg rum?
Yeah.
So what are you drinking bourbon for then?
I never drank Bundaberg rum even when I was sponsored.
Shut up.
No.
Really?
No, I get indigestion bad from it. I can't.
You hate it?
I might have had a few when I was 19 or something, I think, and I was going to be a Milton rum drinker.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't get into it. Even when I was,
really?
because I was sponsored with Bundaberg rum, and I had a credit card.
Yeah.
So if you go into a place, you had to spend. If you pulled the credit card out, they wanted you to spend $500. That was shouting the bar and getting everybody on it. So once they had 1 or 2, then they'd tickle on and want to keep going the rest of their night with it. So
no way.
Yeah, and then I'd be tipping the bar guy behind the bar and just like, look, mate, I'm going to bring over a rum can, but just put bourbon in it or put Coke in it or whatever like that. And half the time I wasn't even drinking. So
that's hilarious. Because I heard whispers that you used to be sponsored by, and I'm like, I swear he doesn't. I've never seen him drink rum. So there you go.
No, never.
Oh well, mate. Well, give us a bit of a little early days of the tech.
Yeah, right.
Where you from and all the rest?
Born in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And mum and dad owned some property down at Brewer Lake there.
Right.
Just past the caravan parks where Suncoast used to be.
Yep.
Just before you head up over the hill into Brewer Lake.
Yep.
They had 3 houses or 3 blocks there. So we moved down there. I think I was maybe 4 months old, like a little baby.
Oh, so you've been down here forever, kind of?
Yeah, I don't remember anything else.
Wow.
So that was a good place to grow up because you had that crown land out the back in between Super Tubes was my backyard.
Yeah, Super Tubes.
Yeah,
and
we had stables. Mum and dad owned a dog kennel, so we sort of had dogs there and plenty of horses and stables out the back, always riding around there.
Right. Is any of that stuff still there? Like the stables and stuff? Is it still in?
No.
So it's just been mowed down and changed.
The big house, the big dolls looking house, it's the 3rd one down from the top. On the left there, Teeny's has got the oyster place, and then there's where Melise lives.
Yep.
And then there's a dollhouse looking thing.
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
That one, and then now Matt
and then Matt's
Simmy's.
Matt and
that
Simmy's
was my grandparents' place. Matt and Simmy's.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
When they pulled it down, they offered me a few things that were floating around on the ground there.
Yeah.
some stumps from an old tree and that, like some memorabilia. So it was cool.
Yeah, cool.
Mm.
So you did schooling, everything here in Ulladulla?
Yeah, Ulladulla High, Ulladulla Primary.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of grew up doing all that around here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good place to grow up. The caravan park was up the road.
Yeah.
And we had the horses, so, we'd get on the horses and ride down the beach all the time. You know what I mean? That was our thing.
Yeah.
Go to school, come home, get on the horses, straight down the beach, galloping up and down the beach, living on that headland, the big headland
Big
there.
Supers headland?
Is it Supers, the south end?
Yeah, in between Racy and Brill, that headland?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Supers.
Yep.
What's it called? Woodburn or Blackburn or something headland?
I don't know. Never knew.
Supers.
My whole life, yeah.
It's
Supers
called
headland.
Supers, yeah.
Yeah, so I knew that place the back of my hand. And then, it was good around Christmas time, There's always heaps of people, heaps of friends, heaps of girls type thing. You'd be riding around up the thing and a couple of girls would come up and talk and you'd bring them back and put them on a horse and we'd all go riding. Like, this is below 10, so I was always sort of tried, not tuning girls, but, always had heaps of friends that I'd bring. Yeah, come back and ride a horse. So we'd scoot around. Actually, that's where I met Alison for the first time. Not knowing it, because her family had a house next to Suncoast Caravan Park there.
Right.
Or the Suncoast, the shop.
Where's she originally from?
In Sydney. Up in Barella up there.
Right. Yeah.
And then, I think because she remembers knowing this kid that had horses and they'd come up and we'd play in the sandhills together and I'd tie the horse up to the tree and we'd, muck about and I don't know if we kissed or anything like that, but yeah, and then we met later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow, that's crazy, eh?
Isn't it?
What a funny little thing that is.
And then, so I think I lived there until I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mum and Dad got rid of them 2 houses that they owned and they moved out to Milton, Garage Lane.
Yep.
Where the lane I'm on right now, but the property was a bit further down the road. So I remember like building the house with the old man and building the stables. Like, as a 10-year-old, I think I remember going there school holidays and crashing out in the car. I'd worked that hard and got up that early to do stuff.
Yeah.
And lived out there for quite a while and then moved to the new property that we have now. Maybe when I was probably 19 or something. I used to go horse riding up there. 35 years I think we've had this one we're on now.
What? So you've been living there since you were 19?
19. I reckon.
Fuck.
Something like that.
It's crazy.
Well, me and Alison moved in. We were the first ones on there because I used to ride. We used to live at the other property and then I'd go up the road and ride up there. And if the southerly, you've been there.
Yeah.
It's got that big block of bush that's on the southern side. Yeah. And that top was sort of cleared. And I'd always ride up there if there was a southerly blowing. And it was like really still, really beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I sort of talked to them about it. I said, you should try and buy this other property. And then, we talked about it, took them up there, showed them where it was and all. And then, they sold that place, rented it out for a while. And then, because they sold it to somebody, rented it there. And then me and Alison moved on to the place. So we were there 12 months, clearing it out, living in a caravan on the place before anybody else got there.
Really?
Yeah. I was actually had my arm in a sling for 6 months of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got off like a mad shoulder operation from smashing my shoulder rodeoing and
yeah, I bet.
So I had a whippersnipper and
just on this
backwards
just
and forwards.
one arm.
Yeah, one arm whippersnipper for days and days, clearing the place.
Come out with bush. One arm real chank and the other one looking all
pretty much. I got a photo just like that. This arm's bulked up and this one's like a stick.
That's mental. So you were saying your parents had stables. Was your old man involved in horses or were they pets? Were they for the sake of riding? Was there any family background in rodeoing or anything like that? Or
no, not in the early part of the thing with rodeo. We had horses there. We obviously do pony club.
Yeah.
Yeah, pony club was at Milton. So we'd get up in the morning on the Saturday morning, I suppose it was, or Sunday. No, I suppose it was Saturday. And then ride out behind Canberra Crescent, up Kings Point, top of the ridge, back of the tip, Slaughterhouse Way.
Yeah.
And then, get to Pony Club and then ride home. So it was like a full journey. And then, they bought a truck or a horse float. And, we'd get around the country. I had a really fast sporting horse. Sporting being like the barrel racing and the stuff that you see at Milton Show on the Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going hard stuff. So I had a pony that did that really good. And then we had a few other horses. So we'd go showing maybe 6 months of the year, I suppose.
Yeah.
Disappear from school on a Thursday sometimes, leave on the Friday, show horses all weekend, trying to get to the Royal, trying to get to Sydney Royal, Mckeown Royal and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had that sort of set up for us. We were always on the road as kids.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah, and they had 5 horses by the time I was 10.
Really?
4 at least.
And just like...
A sporting horse, a jumping horse, a dressage horse, and a show and hacky horse, you know what I mean? The prissy stuff that you wear when you're a suit jacket. And
oh, yeah. And they got the little bands around there.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, super.
Oh, yeah.
Super pretty stuff, yeah.
What about camp draft? Did you ever do any of that?
No.
Okay.
I did it, but I never sort of stuck to it.
I went and watched that down at Willinga Park one time.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's good at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was impressive, eh?
Yeah, they're the good ones. And I think that's might have what spoiled me a little bit of the first few that I did were 3rd grade, 4th grade stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? Where, you know, they've got the pins to get around, or the trees, whatever, and then they've got to get through the gate. Yeah. And I think, 50 people had gone and nobody got around the second tree, where you turn up down to Willinga and, 60% of me getting through the gate. So, yeah, they're the pros.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the big dogs. It was fucking hell. It was pretty impressive to watch.
Good place down there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled down there wearing like me, my like misfit kind of, just like nice sort of black, like kind of going out boots and a jacket and my Kubra, and all the cowboys are just looking at me, just shaking their head like, look at this idiot.
Check out this guy.
And they're giving it to me. They call me Brokeback Mountain and that.
Did they?
And then I was just like, look, boys, I know I look like an idiot, but it's the best I can do.
Yeah.
And ended up like, they were writing me off and I could hear them, and I turned around and I said, look, lads, I can hear everything you're saying. I can hear you rinsing me, and I'm going to confirm, yes, I look like an idiot, but it's the best I got. If one of you wants to trade a hat with me, I'd love to. And then they ended up being our mates. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, but like they'll fully write me off. Look at this dickhead, you know.
Yeah, you wheeled them good. That's good.
Yeah. But no, it was funny, eh? So we've spoken before. You were breaking in horses, right? As a kid, is that?
Mm-hmm.
So
once I got out the farm.
What's involved in breaking in a horse, or like give us a bit of a rundown on what that was all about?
Well, I think at the start it was a bit rough. You know what I mean? Where the first lessons I got in horse breaking were a bit rough. You know what I mean? They were
rough to the animal.
Yeah, okay. Not the nicest. You'd have to. They were teaching you to strap them down, or you'd pull a leg up, or which is a collar rope thing. And it's quite safe, but you got to do it in a sand yard or a round yard so they don't flipping around. And not everybody's got access to them, so then it turns into a bit of chaos. And yeah, I think that first initial part of horse breaking when you were younger was a little bit, what you want to get on them and you want to buck them out and you got to do this, and it was all tough and manly. And then you figured out that that's really not the way to do it. You can so much do it a lot easier, almost like a hypnotic thing where they're slow and steady and they've calm and you've brought them to you. And
yeah.
So that's a much better way to do it. And then, once I got involved in that way, I thought it was a lot better. I've got a mate, Luke, who lives down the coast. I sort of grew up together. He's a wonderful horse breaker.
Right. He's
been breaking in horses his whole life. That's pretty much been his business his whole life. And he's always sort of told me the little trickeries on things like that. I maybe would have stayed on the path that I was on until these other people, or he showed me a video about something else that was a lot calmer. So
okay.
So you pretty much get on them. Hopefully they don't buck too much after you've done all of the groundwork.
Yeah.
You've obviously, let's say you catch them, the head collars on them, which is normal these days. Most horses are quiet enough as a foal to be handled by people.
Right.
It's rare if you get out to the Northern Territory or something and you're catching 3-year-olds that have never seen a human.
Yeah, they're going
Then
on.
It's going to become a little bit rough for the first bit.
What, Brumbies? Like you're catching Brumbies? Is that?
Well, Brumbies, or mostly just big horses on stations out there. They break in horses from stations. Luke did more of that than me. I didn't break in too many of that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mostly had horses that were always handleable from the start. They'd come to me on a horse float, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you put a bit in their mouth, you teach them how to steer. Yeah. You give them the aids to be able to turn to the left and turn to the right, and a bit of pressure on to back them up. Once you get that done, slowly put the saddle on, get them used to onto their back. A little bit more gentle than the old cowboys used to do it.
Whipping them around.
Yeah.
And like, is it got anything to do with like a reward system? Like with a dog, he does something good, you give him a treat. He does this. Is there any of that going on, or is that horses aren't that way inclined? Or
no, definitely there's a reward system, or
Okay.
pressure and release is probably a better word for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're pressuring them to do something a little bit, making it a little bit uncomfortable to be over there. So. And then you'll find they'll be spooked with what's going on. And then if you just stand still, sometimes they'll just come to you and it's like,
Yeah.
this seems to be the safe spot to be next to this guy. And once
this
you get
guy.
that little mental problem going on,
Yeah.
everything else is a problem over there. The saddle's a problem, the bridle's a problem, something else, the big flag that you're waving's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you come in and their head's on your chest and they're like, oh, fix me.
They're like, help me. Like,
Yeah, so then you become
the safe beacon, the safe zone or something.
the better brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figure out they want to do what you're thinking.
Yeah, because you're the one that's going to help them.
So yeah, then you get on.
Crazy.
Let's take them for the first ride. Usually you have another ride with another horse side by side. Hopefully usually there's another person on them. You have to do it two people at that time.
Mm.
And then that's sort of a calming thing as well because they know the horse that you're on. And so you'll be on the round yard for, maybe 3 or 4 days doing that, hour at a time, 40 minutes. And the timing thing. Like you'll be on them and you'll be doing something and you'll feel in them that they're done. You know what I mean? I've thought too much. I'm tired now. My muscles might be a bit sore and I'm just like, nothing that you're saying's going in. So you pull up then and just try again the next day or a little bit this afternoon and then eventually you're slowly going and then it's a great exercise. It's a great thing to learn.
Is it a slow process? Like, does it take?
Yeah, it's different with all horses, but you can get on a horse and be done riding down the road you'd probably do it in 1 day on some rare horses.
Right.
Very rare.
Right.
But usually it's a week long or a 2 week long,
Okay.
3 week long thing. You don't want to pressure them too fast.
Yeah.
That's the old school because typically you get that done in the first day. Let's say you're down there, you're riding out on the third day, something's going to fuck up. They're just going to freak out and then you don't have all that control that you've just tried to put into them over the 2 week period.
Yeah.
So that was a good business. I trained little kids' horses for quite a while, which was a good thing. You'd buy them from the sale yards or you'd buy them off people and break them in. And then this is where the treat thing comes in, especially with little kids' ponies. Like little kids are going to fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't hurt themselves too much. Sometimes they do. But if you can get, like I'd fill my pockets with carrots or sugar or, just some sort of treat, whatever that horse liked.
Treat, yeah.
And I'd ride down the paddock and fall off just for no reason and just land on the ground. But then have sugar and carrots in my hand. And then the horse would stop and come to you like, oh, where's your carrot? Where's your food? And then, you do that when the person's going to buy the horse. And then they'd think that, wow, this horse really cares about my kid falling off.
Oh, right.
He'd fall off and the horse would be sniffing around the little kid. They're like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I teach him to love you. And then you'd sell him off.
Ah, that's interesting. This is all like, you may as well be speaking Russian to me right now because this is so far from, I've never had much exposure to like
horses.
Or
just training them at all.
Just anything to do with that, yeah. Like that's like, it's just so foreign to me. Yeah, interesting. Right, that's crazy. So essentially you're falling off with a little handful of treats. The horse is coming back and going, oh, he's come off, which means if I go and be present, I get a treat.
Yep.
And then he learns that.
Yep. And then
the repetition, and when the kid falls off, he comes back to check on the kid.
Yeah, and the parents are stoked when they see that, and they 9 times out of 10 bought the horse.
Wow, sick.
Yeah, which is, the horse has been nice anyway, but it's sort of a little bit of trickery.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. This lady got this horse for sale. We're at Canberra Royal Show one day, and this old bloke's brought his horse in. He's out Yass somewhere, wherever this guy come from, probably even further out. And it's a nice horse. I think it might have got a second place in some event. And this lady's come down. She's got the brand new Land Cruiser, $20,000 horse float. She's wearing the flashiest clothes, the best boots, all, everything that you can see about her is money. And she's brought her instructor with her, and the instructor's got on the horse, and they've rode the horse around. Horse has gone well. Put the kid on the horse has done well with the kid. And the lady's gone, yep, definitely, we're going to buy this horse. And this old cocky, he's got the cigarette out the side of his mouth and the hat tipped back and everything. And it's got a head collar on it by then, like they've unsaddled it. She said, I definitely want this horse. My child loves this horse. And the instructor thinks it's a wonderful, wonderful educated horse. So it's a credit to you. How much do you want for it? And he's like, 15. She's like, sold. Signed a check, 15. Handed him the check. He's looked at it. He's folded it, put it in his pocket. He's like, you can have the rug and the head collar for that. He was only asking for 1,500. She bought it for 15 grand.
Wow.
That's some horse people.
It just goes to show, is it people who like used to spending money and just like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Some of them, money's no object. They'll spend anything for their kid to win a good ribbon at a Royal or something like that.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Which is sort of why we don't. I think that's the reason why some people get out of it. You know what I mean? If you're not in it for that money thing and you don't have that money, it tends to become a little bit, I don't know. It feels a bit bitchy at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bit of a like
it's a money competition more than pretentious. There you go. That's a great word for it.
Bit of a pretentious kind of
But it's a good thing to know, and it's a good thing to be involved in, especially when you're a kid. But yeah, when it turns into that $100,000 setup for your kid, your pony, your horse, your float, and everything like that, just to get a ribbon.
Yeah, it's all a bit.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. I mean, like from what I've seen, it seems like a lot of the horse world is a rich man's world because it's pretty expensive to get all of the.
Well, you were just saying you went to Willinga.
Yeah.
You saw what it looks like.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Not only the place that it's at, but like all the trucks they turn up in.
Just rolling up in brand new filth rams and they run. You're just like, what?
Yeah, it's insane.
Shit, there's some coin in there.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're buying bloody a horse for 15, 20 grand, then, well, there you go.
Yeah, well, they make them, they flip them. There's definitely money in it if you're involved in doing all that sort of stuff. But then, you know, we're more into the love side of things and having a good horse that's a pet and can take you anywhere. And yeah, we're not into this flipping them and trying to turn 30 into 50 and 50 into 80.
No.
I've seen it. You've seen it in the States too with barrel racing horses and cutting horses and whatnot. There's money over there.
Oh man, I just got back from Los Angeles and it's like, it's just crazy being in a place where like there's so many people driving $100,000, $200,000 cars like everywhere. It's like, it's crazy. Like just, I guess, I mean, the divide's full on.
The divide's big.
The divide between, you know, you have someone driving along the street in their Bentley and a homeless guy kind of like, all creased up, just shuffling across the street, like all busted up on the fentanyl or something. And, you know, the Bentley's beep, 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 get out of the way. And then just cruising through. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is just the opposite side of the seesaw right there. That's just
there's a
the
visual.
tip of the scales right there.
That's a visual, isn't it?
It's crazy. But it's just crazy being in a place where, like, for a lot of people, money is it's not an obstacle at all, which is insane.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. I've never had that, you know.
No, nor have I.
I sort of feel like I want it sometimes, but then I don't know. Would it change the way? Well, it would have. It would have changed the way that you grew up with your kids, and you know, would have added that pretentiousness to things. I maybe imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that I'd just throw wicked parties and just take my friends travelling around the world and cruising around and staying in nice places and surfing waves. And
I think the same. You know,
I'd like to hope that, but
yeah, if I come across that, I'd like to make it. Well, you know, you take care of everybody in your family first, I'm sure, and then, yeah, of
course.
I've not had the money, and we don't take them overseas camping, but you know, my place has always been available to everybody to do lots of things at my place. Yeah, it's been a pretty good place to live for years.
Bit of a refuge, eh?
It has been.
Yeah, for sure. So you were talking before. You mentioned the Northern Territory.
Oh yeah.
Did you live up there or what?
In 1988, the government ran this. It's like a competition to get involved in showing people from other states and other towns and country towns what it was like in the Northern Territory. So anyway, I won a prize to go end up there, and my mate Luke did as well. He went to a different station, and I went to Camfield Station in the Northern Territory. Yeah, which is near Wave Hill. So you had Darwin, Catherine, And then you've got the Western Australian border here. It's like 400 k's down from Katherine, and nearly at the Western Australian border.
Right near.
In the Tanami Desert.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, you're just pretty much riding bronchi horses that are always bucking every morning.
Yeah.
Chasing cattle is most I'd ever seen. Like the first time we herded cattle was, well, the first day you get there, really, you just get on the horse first thing in the morning. Next thing you know, we're riding out the bush and you can hear the helicopters going, and there's 4 or 5 helicopters doing their thing. And next thing you know, I think there was 4,000 head stretched out over 2 kilometres.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, with the leaders, flankman in the middle, flankman on the side, and one's pushing up from the back. And then, obviously, you get that mob, you get the young ones, the clean skins, they call them. So clean skins, anything that's not been into a yard before and been branded and marked.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's clean skin, so it doesn't really have any education. Rowdy teenagers,
Just bucking around like
that. And they'd all group together, and, the mothers are over here and the calves are trying to keep up, and sometimes there's a car behind picking up calves that get left behind. And then they'd mob out and they'd make a break. So it'd be your job to sort of catch them and push them back to the mob, or if you couldn't get them back to the mob, just keep circling them and keep around them, and then the helicopters would notice that, because they'd come and disappear, go get more and bring them in from the side. As you were pushing through, they just keep adding to the bunch. And then every now and then, like I said, if one mob broke away, a mob of 10, 15, 20, something like that, you just keep them together. As long as you just rode around them and sort of trying to mob them all together and keep them together. Next, a helicopter would turn up. And I dead set reckon one day I'm galloping behind this mob, 20 of them, and they're going down through this little dry draw and up the valley and up the other side, and then we just get through this valley on my horse. Like, it's all sandy and whatnot, rocky on the ridges, but sandy, so it wasn't too dangerous to go galloping. And my hat's flipping back, there's wind blowing in my face, and as I've just started to come around like that, I felt my hat and all my wind, because I'm still travelling at a galloping pace, and the wind should be coming at me, all the wind's going in the opposite direction. And for a second, I couldn't really figure out what was going on. I remember turning like that, and then literally 4 inches, 5 inches, 2 foot maybe from my head is the helicopter feet. Just over the top.
You couldn't hear it?
I didn't hear it because I was going so fast on the horse.
Already,
and then just...
Fuck.
They come around, they turn on the side. Like, I've seen them nearly flip upside down, inverted.
Yeah.
Mob them all together and push them back, and then you work with the helicopter and it's doing its thing at the back, and you're just getting the strays out.
Far out.
Super exciting. And that's like day one.
What? That sounds insane.
Yeah.
You're going to think I'm a dickhead for saying this, but I got into that series Yellowstone.
Yeah, everyone tells me about it.
It's pretty good.
I have heard.
I mean, it's cheesy Hollywood American version of probably what's the reality. But
maybe not.
I was watching that and that similar thing. And there's another one, Territory. You heard about that? It's an Australian one.
No.
And it's based in, you should probably watch that one because it's based in the Northern Territory.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just essentially it's just like people have this ranch or this station, and then other people wanted to buy it because this is the biggest station, and it's just like this rivalry and like people are trying to take it and just the classic.
Oh, and it's a real show?
No.
Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a series.
I think I have now seen that advertised. Now that you're talking about it.
Territory's pretty good. Territory's like the Australian version, so
of Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's. It can definitely be cheesy at times, but it's wicked. It's good.
Yeah, no, I've heard everybody said it's pretty wicked.
Yeah, it's wicked. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's Hollywood's Hollywood, like it's always a little bit of a stretch, but it's a good watch.
Yeah.
But that's what I've seen. I'm just sitting here right now imagining scenes in Yellowstone. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
That actually happens. Wicked.
It does happen. It does happen in the Territory too.
Wow, that's insane.
So then you get them back to the yards, or they'll funnel in. The laneway you're on's, say 500 metres wide, and then it funnels in until they get inside the yards, and there's just 4,000 head in there, and then you start drafting. So all their yards are set up, so they're all squares around the outside, and you can finally get them into smaller paddocks in the middle, and there'll be a race down the middle, super big round yard, then a race, and once you get to the round yard, the round yard's big as your house, I suppose, maybe a little smaller.
Yeah.
And then there's all gates off the side, so 10 might come into the round yard, and then everybody's got a gate. So there could be a cow, a female heifer, 2 clean skins, and a bull, say. So the bull goes there, the clean skins goes there, the calves go here, you know what I mean? You've got to separate them and draft them all out.
And that's where, okay. So that's where that drafting actually comes into. Like,
no, we're doing it on foot. We're not doing it on horses. There's a guy out there doing it in the big paddock, pushing them through. But we do all of our drafting like that, or
on foot
in the round yard pens, so it can be a bit more selective, and then they get them into their right pens.
Right. How old were you when you were doing this?
I reckon it was 1988. So I think I was probably 17 or 18.
Yeah.
17.
Is this before... I'm not quite sure the terminology to use, actually. Is it bullfighting or rodeo clown? What?
Well, you're a rodeo clown, but you're bullfighting.
Okay.
You're fighting bulls.
Okay.
No, that's pretty much where I first started it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this where it began?
Well, that's what happened, because and it was in them drafting pens, because we'd done the drafting, and over there was there was all the calves, so like baby calves. Yeah, from this big to this big, whatever.
Yep.
You know, and then somebody had fucked up, and then one of the bulls had got in with the calf, and he's a big gnarly bull, one big horn, the other one snapped off, so I don't know how he broke it off. You know, it had been broken off years ago, and he just was sitting quietly in the corner. And then we must have been drafting for another 3 or 4 hours. Super hot up there, you know, you're sweating, there's dogs running around and horses running around. And I'd sort of done a little bit of movement, you know, you got to dodge a few around gates and stuff like that. And I sort of had, and I was always athletic. I played touch footy, you know what I mean? I played league. I was always pretty quick runner, naturally fit type person, you know what I mean? So I was already on that sort of, no, not level, but you know, I wasn't scared of it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we turned around and someone's yelling out. One of the stockmen's fucking yelling out. And as I turned around, this big bull with one big horn is just lifting calves, just walking into them and putting his horn under one of the belly or the back leg type thing, and just tossing, because he's got the shits. I think one of his cows had been coming through the round yard, and he was probably wanting to come back and be pushed in. So anyway, that's what happened. And I just was fucking, and I'm telling you, they're cartwheeling like a seal getting hit by an
fucking orca. Yeah.
You know, that, like that picture. Round, fly, and then doom, it'd land on the fence half, breaking its back, and like horrible shit.
Like fucking him up. Like killing him?
Killing him.
Fucking hell.
Killing him. If it didn't kill him with the horn, because he wasn't stabbing them, but he was like hurling them that hard that they would have had some sort of internal injury. Like, they're just not that big. Anyway, one goes, two goes, then, well, the two had already gone before I got notified about it. So I've left my gate, jumped over this other guy's gate and just ran straight in. And I remember just like running straight up as he's about to do the next one, and just going smack, slap, did whatever I did, and dragged it away from the cows almost to the gate, climbed up on the fence, jumped on the other side of the fence, opened the gate and put it in the round yard.
Yeah.
And it, like, just before I'd even realised it had happened, I did it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Like, lucky, because you're fucking 500 k's from a hospital, so lucky I nailed it. And yeah, that happened. Sorted him out, got him back into his right pen. Calves were safe again. And then one of the stockmen's come over. He's like, "Fuck, you done that before?"
Holy shit!
I'm like, no, I did that out of sheer fucking anger, I think, mate.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you reckon we get some out here later on and we'll play around?" Because he'd done a bit of rodeo, so he'd been a bull rider.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, everybody that rodeo sort of knows what a rodeo clown or a bullfighter does anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, we didn't even get bulls. We just got spayed cows. You know what a spayed cow is?
No.
They take the ovaries out of them so they get fat.
So
they
girls?
Yep, girl cows.
Yep.
And they'll slice near the hip bone. Almost like a carpet cutter. They shoot them full of... Actually, I don't even know if they were using painkillers back then. They probably were, but I didn't see it. So they put a painkiller in them, say they do, and then they put like a Stanley knife in, and then they put this like a carpet cutter, you know, like a knife that's shaped like that.
Yeah, like
put that in the hole, and then slice it open, just big enough to get your arms in. And then you hold in this hand as like a pair of scissors, but they go down like a long cable, so there's little nippers at the end of them.
Right.
And you put your arm in, and you feel over the top of one of the stomachs, I suppose, and you go down and you find where the ovaries are, and then you find yourself, you come down this tube and you find the little ball at the end, and you've got the scissors and you snip the ovary off, and then come back to the other one, snip the ovary off, and then you've got 2 ovaries in your hand, and then they'll put some pain, like antiseptic in there, and then stitch them back up.
Yeah.
And then they can't have calves, so they go out, I think, for another 6 months or 12 months, and then they just come really fat, and they sell them to Malaysia.
For meat? For eating?
For eating.
Whoa, that's pretty hectic.
Isn't it?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about it until I went there. And this is, don't forget, it's 1988, so things may have changed and laws may have changed for, I don't know, healthy reasons or...
Do you eat meat?
Beg your pardon?
Do you eat meat?
I do. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, if being in that world might have maybe turned you off eating meat, or like, I don't know.
No.
Did you ever see just horrific shit and you're like, oh man, this is too much?
No.
I suppose it's a different thing. You're not really seeing the actual slaughtering process, really, are you?
No, I've never worked in a meatworks.
Yeah.
I've shot some things, and we shot cows there that we ate.
Yeah.
So we'd shoot them and then skin them and then quarter them and cut them up and hang them and, do all that meatwork stuff.
You've done all the skinning and cutting up before?
I have. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty wicked. Wow.
Yeah, but just to finish, so he brought in some spayed cows, and they had horns, but they weren't, you know what I mean? They'd been tipped off, so they were this type of
Little
thing.
stubs, sort of, yeah.
20 cents sort of round.
Yeah.
And sort of bird off. And then, he sort of stepped around, and he showed me a few little moves, and I was like quick enough to do it. And it was pretty exciting and good fun. And then never really thought about too much, and then finished the trip up there, came back, and sort of got involved in fighting bulls a little bit. Because when we were showing...
Down here,
yeah, because we had a local rodeo at the show.
Yeah, the Milton Show, yeah.
Yeah, and then we used to have an Easter rodeo at showtime as well. An Easter rodeo.
Where was that?
That was at Milton for years.
Oh, so there was 2 shows.
Yeah, there was show rodeo, which is the one that everybody sees that comes to the Milton Show.
Yep.
Which is a pretty amateur little, just a wild little event.
Mm-hmm.
But then we'd have the pros. I think in 80, could have been 88. In 88, we held the national finals rodeo, or the qualifier for the national finals. Like everybody that was a superstar turned up at that show. That's one of the first rodeos I went to. But to go back, because we were showing and doing, I did dressage on the Friday, and then I did show hack riding, all the prissy stuff with the jacket like I was telling you about. And then the rodeo would be on Friday night, and I'd say to Mum, this is potty ride. I'm like, come on, I want to go on the potty ride. No, you've got your champion boy tomorrow, and you've got dressage. And she never let me for so long. And then it must have been like in the last year that I was able to get on. And she's like, yeah, right, okay, you can do it at your own local event. Yeah. So, and it was good prize money too. And I remember going in the event, and when you're a potty ride, you hold with 2 hands. Yeah. I remember holding on, and your legs are strapping, and I felt like I did it so easy. Yeah. And when you go back and see the old video, like it was not bucking, but doing more than a potty ride should do.
Giving you a belt, yeah.
And it felt like I could have took my hands away.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and I won. I got first prize. And then Mum's like,
How old were you?
I reckon I might have been 10 or 11, say.
Yeah.
I think it finishes at 12 potty riding, or it did back then, so I reckon I only had 1 more year.
Yeah.
So, and then I think, Mum being, because we weren't the richest, everything, all the prize money that I won went back into paying the entries for the next weekend and paying the fuel and all the rest of stuff. And
she was like, hang on a second, this might work.
Hang on a second, this guy just won $75 for 8 seconds work.
Hang on a second.
So then I was allowed to ride in all the rodeos.
Fuck, how good.
Yeah.
And that's how, right. So you've gone, that was your introduction to rodeo, bull, that was the introduction to rodeo stuff. You were always more like horse orientated before that.
Yep. I always saw it and always watched it and always had a good seat for it. So I was always interested in it, but never really, I didn't seek it out much because I sort of wasn't allowed until I was over 10, over 12 maybe.
You want another one?
No, I'm good for now.
Right. So then you've gone from there.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone from riding the potties, getting a bit of a fix for the rodeo, being like, oh, I like this. Then you've gone up the Northern Territory and you've just been catapulted into bullfighting without really choice, because out of desperation having to handle a situation. So you've come back to Ulladulla.
Yep.
Come back home. When did it then become a career? When did it then become something that was like, this is what I'm going to do?
Yeah, well, that was sort of the timeline, because we obviously, when I was 10, in the potty riding, and then you get over 12 years old, you're a steer rider.
Okay, sorry.
Still showing, doing steer riding, which is just a bigger animal.
Yeah.
And then you move from steers, and then you'll do a junior bull, which is a bit more on the rodeo side of things, not so much of a steer ride.
Yeah.
So I was riding bulls
What's
at the
a steer,
time.
sorry?
A steer would be, so a potty's this big.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just above your waist?
Yeah, just there. Yeah, hip high sort of thing.
Yep.
A steer would be...
like a teenager kind of.
Yeah, an older thing, maybe about 2 years old or something.
Right.
Maybe a year old, but a steer, no, not even that old, a year old.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, yeah, they're about this big. You know what I mean?
Hey, sorry, how long until a cow is full grown?
A full-grown cow?
Yeah. Like how, so you've got the potties, you got the steers.
Yeah.
How long until a cow's like fucking at its max, like it's maxed out?
I reckon a mature buck and bull would be, you could probably get them at 4, but I'd say 5. They've got the muscle compound. They're
5 years?
4 to 5 years
Really?
old. They buck them younger, but they're just not as muscly and strong and,
Right. Cool.
So talk about intelligence in that as well. You know what I mean? They're just like, I'm wild and I'm silly and I'm green and I don't really know what I'm doing. But when a buck and bull's actually starting to think which way he's going to go because he can feel the rider on his back, he'll be,
5 or something.
I reckon on the age from definitely above 3.5, 4 years.
Sorry to butt in there. I was just
no, that's fine.
Before I forgot that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've gone potties, steers.
Yep.
Junior bull. What was it called?
Yeah, junior bull.
Junior
Then I
bull,
joined the circuit. And apart from just going to shows, then there's another rodeo circuit, which is like a complete just rodeo stuff. Then I started to go to that as well.
So you started riding, huh?
At probably age of
Obviously,
16. And then, did around that. Just as fun, trying to be a bull rider, trying to figure out whether I was going to go rodeoing. And I rode bareback and I rode saddle bronc and I did other things as well. But, the bulls were the main interest. It's the most exciting thing.
Do you mind explaining those two things? Sorry.
Bareback?
Bareback is what? Nothing. You're just holding on to the grip.
It's called a riggin. So it's almost like a tiny little saddle. And there's like a suitcase handle, really made out of rawhide, hard leather.
Yep.
And you wedge your hand in it and you wedge it in.
And you're wearing that big glove, eh?
Yeah. Wearing a big glove.
I don't know.
You have to wear the glove, it tears your skin.
Yeah.
And then, so you ride and you'll see when the horse bucks, you've got to get into a rhythm. So as he bucks with his front feet down and he kicks out the back, your feet are on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as he kicks out at the back, you just like you rake up through the shoulders like that. So you've got roller spurs on. And then saddle bronc is sort of the same position, but you have a saddle, your feet are still going in front of his neck like that, but they rake back towards the back of the saddle, not just up towards you, because you pretty much, if you bareback like that, you pull them back almost to your crutch.
Right.
Straight up the neck. And then when you saddle bronc, you're here, and then you sort of like turn your foot to the back. So there's 3 different styles. And then you got to have a saddle for that, and you're like, there's a lot involved.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
So which makes it, I think that's why a lot of people just start, if they're not scared of bulls, with a bull, because you just have a rope. That's it. Rope and a bell.
And is there nothing on the bull's back? You're just wrapping your bare carcass straight over the top of its back?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, nothing. Well, you might have a little pad that goes underneath your hand, but I never used a pad. I might have used them a couple of times, but I didn't have one, so I didn't use them.
Shit, man. So you've gone doing that, and then how old were you, do you reckon, when you started riding?
So I probably did that from 16 to 18, 16 to 17, hit the territory at 17.
Yep.
Did that little bit of fighting for a bit.
Yep.
Come back, did the circuit, back onto the Southern Zone circuit, which is from, let's say, the border in Victoria to Wollongong.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, a little bit to the west, that sort of thing. Crookwool, Crookwool, Wagga, that, you can imagine that sort of area.
Yeah.
So I was on that circuit. And then I got hung up. You know what a hang up is? So if I'm riding with this hand and we pull the rope up, rope comes across and do whatever like that, technically once the bull happens to buck and does its thing, if I've ridden time, I should be getting off that way, because then everything comes undone. Yeah, the rope just comes undone. But if I fall off to the opposite side, if I'm right-handed and I fall off to the left-hand side,
tensioning it.
Yeah, my hand turns over and I can't get my fingers to come undone.
Oh, fuck.
So you actually stuck to them.
Okay, so you got the rope coming across your hand. If you come that way, it just slides out. If you get ripped, you get your hand's stuck between the animal's body and the rope, and you're just fucking locked in.
And because your fingers don't want to come out.
Yeah, because they're stuck under the rope.
Yeah, and usually by then putting fucking tension on and it's dragging you around, and you're just like a little anchor.
Shit.
Not even an anchor. What would you call it? Like a lure flying around on its back. That happened to me a few times. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I was green at it. I didn't really know what to do. And then when I got hung up the first time, I didn't do anything to help the bullfighter. Not that I was the bullfighter, this when someone else was the bullfighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't tune me, but he's like, you got to do this, you got to get off your rope, which is mean don't drag on your hand, try and pull yourself up.
Yeah.
Don't be just dragging around on the ground. And so then after doing what I did in the territory and then going back to rodeo, and I thought I'm just going to do a bullfighting school.
Yeah.
For no reason apart from knowing what to do on my own hang up, and I'll be able to get myself out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'll be able to help him out. It'll make my bull riding better.
Yep.
And then so that did the school. I remember getting run over by a bull. I remember getting hooked in the leg. Alison was there. I was with Alison then, so it was like we were just beginning to be together at the time.
Yeah.
We've always been. She's only known me as a bloody bullfighter, really.
Yeah.
Well, not only, but you know, she first knew me as a bullfighter. We were rodeoing on the road.
Yeah.
And then so I did the school, and then
where was the school?
In Yass.
Yes.
Yeah. Dusty old place it was. I remember getting, like I said, I got hooked in the leg, and then.
So what's happening when you're getting hooked in? Like, is it fucking ripping the shit out of you, or what's going on?
No, I was running beside it, and it just sort of bumped me with its head. I don't even think it hit me with its horn, but sort of I didn't have too much padding, didn't really know what to wear back then, so it was almost like a cork in the leg.
Just a good fucking cork, yeah.
Like probably kicking you in the leg as hard as I could type thing.
Oh, fuck.
So that sort of, it was, and then you get...
It drops you, huh? You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Put you down,
Yeah, they hurt. And then, a couple of pushes into the ribs, and, I got rolled on the ground a couple of times and just sort of figured out some stuff, and with the guy telling me what to do, you know what I mean? Don't do this, don't do this, do this. And... so, took that in, figured myself out, got hung up another time, did way better at helping him get me out. And then we were at Jindabyne Rodeo one time, and the two bullfighters were there. I was riding at the time. A mate of mine got on whatever bull he got on. I can't remember now. I was on a bull called Southern Comfort. And on my bull's in the chute, my rope's on, we're waiting what's going on. So the other side's bucks out. Snaps the bullfighter's leg. So they bring the ambulance in, cart him away down to one bullfighter. Next bull comes out, snaps his arm. So there's no bullfighters left.
Fucking hell.
And we're on the circuit, so we're sort of like living on the circuit as it is.
Yeah.
And we play touch footy, or we're training together, playing gridiron sometimes, because a lot of boys have been to America.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you went to the school and you're the fastest out of us. You're up.
Fucking jump in, boy.
All right. Okay. And I think I even had my boots and my chaps on.
What are chaps?
No, I think I might have took my chaps off. Can't remember.
What are chaps?
Chaps are just like leather pants. You do up a belt sort of thing around there.
Oh, yeah.
Buckle it up just
and
around
they got the flares off it. And it's
they big... flap around there to get the bull to turn into them type thing. They're just flashy things that the bull turns his head onto. I think it might have been invented years ago. So if they were flapping around, the bull would turn, not just buck straight. Because they want bulls to buck in a circle, you know what I mean? They want them to spin. Right. More points, looks better, they buck better.
What is that? So I thought they were like a protective sort of fucking thing.
Nah, they don't protect shit.
No, they don't do shit.
Nah.
So it's purely just to get the bull just skitzing
it's
up.
Just a flashy thing. They look good in photos, and I think originally it would have been because you see them, they turn their head, and sometimes the chaps that like got all the tassels on them, they'll hit him in the face and they'll come back into them and hook into them and stuff. So I believe at the start that's what they were for.
Crazy.
So they're like, righto, you're up. I'm like, righto. So I can't remember if I took my chaps off or not. I just remember standing out there like, and then the bull that came out was a bull called Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
And he was at the time the Buck and Bull of the Year. Like he was the best in the country.
Fucking hell.
And I'm like, whew, okay, here we go.
And
renowned for hanging people up. And a fella called Jimmy Gilpin, mate of mine, got on him. And sure enough, fell in, got bucked off, got hung up. And he's helicoptering. So the bull's spinning, and he's a big bull. He was a big Brahma bull, like a like the tan with the white, like the Brahma, like the Hereford cattle that you see. Like a tan, red, and white.
Yep.
Anyway, he was a big one of them.
Yep.
And had a bit of Brahman in him, they all do. And he's spinning that hard that Jim's hung up with his hand like this, and he's helicoptering. So his body's just level.
Just getting whipped.
Yeah, with his feet obviously out there, just helicoptering. And it's my first ever go, like doing it with a rider on.
Shit.
And I remember just coming in, seeing the head, seeing the feet, dodging it all. Finally got me spot in, jumped up, linked my arm with his hand, got him undone, and like we're still spinning. And it's like it's hooking into me onto the left here. I was on the inside of the spin. And then by then Jim's legs had come down a little bit because it slowed the bucking down. And he's like, I'm out. But I knew instinctively straight away that if I let him go then and there, he was just going to hit the ground, fall down, and then the back feet were going to get him. So we sort of slipped towards the back of the bull, put him off the back. I landed on the ground, landed on my feet, and then that was it.
And you were like, holy shit, I'm really good at this.
Not really good, but yeah, I did realise it was like, oh, okay. I think what I was aware of straight away that when you get on a bull and you, for the first time, or maybe for many times at the start, it's so quick and blurry that, you know what I mean, like turning your head past lights, you know what I mean? You don't get to catch a whole bunch of things like that. Yeah. And I remember all of it clearly as a vision. I could tell you, like even now, I told you, but I have a total clear vision of it, which is like, and that compounded all the way through my career. I could see all the time clearly.
Wow.
And that was
And is that because you're kind of there and the blur is going on in front of you, but you're watching it in time? You're watching the movements. You're watching every step. Like,
yeah.
Is that like?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
I guess when you're on it, you just fucking get whipped around like this. And
well, that gets better because eventually you're so focused here that you can feel and you can see their shoulders move. So you know which way they're going to go. Once you get better at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that focus turns to being a bunch of lights and a bunch of chaos with it feels like your head's flopping around to just zoop, and it focuses into their shoulders and you can feel which way they're going, that type of thing. So it does change and get better. Like, you know, I imagine surfing the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got fucking,
becomes a bit more instinctual, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that definitely happens. But, so yeah, that was the first go. And then I did the rest of the ride. Jumped back on my bull, I think I bucked off my bull, and then did the rest of the rodeo, and then went home. Didn't really think much of it. Just was sort of like, well, I wonder what they're going to do. Who's going to fight bulls next rodeo? And then get the phone call.
Hey,
Teka,
we need help.
Guess what? I'm like, you're the Southern Zone bullfighter now. I'm like, righto, okay.
And what, you just took it? You're like, all right, fuck it, I'll have a crack? Or were you like, oh, let me think about it, I don't know?
No, I was in. I enjoyed the day. I enjoyed the rest of that day. And I was pretty good at it. You know what I mean?
So
like I said,
you continued for the rest of that day to fight bulls?
Yeah.
Because there was no one else. So that was your first one, that fucking gnarly on if you mate where he's helicoptering.
Yeah.
And then how many more, like?
Oh, maybe, let's say, I was in the last round, so there would have been maybe a dozen more.
Yeah.
Not many more. It was nearly over.
I mean, a dozen's still...
Yeah, a dozen's still a dozen.
Especially when you've never
really
done it. Yeah.
But anyway, that sort of, I got through the rest of the day, and I remember doing a little bit of a few other things, no other hang-ups, maybe a few little, what would you call them, like a save. If you fall off near them, they want to run you over. Yeah. So you get in, you get there, you're the movable decoy, you catch them and drag them in the other direction away from the rider. And I think if you were to take a picture, same as the Milton show that I did it in the same sort of time frame, if you were to take a picture of the way my body shape was in them earlier days, it really didn't change much towards the end. So the whole dynamics of the way my body moved around them, I just got better at it by figuring out how their body moved.
Yeah.
You know?
So instinctually your athleticism was enough. And then the way that you improved and got better is that you learn more about them rather than learning more about your body and how to adapt. You already had that instinctually and you got better by learning about how they move instead. Yeah,
I might have changed a few moves of the way that I would have turned into things, but yeah, the learning came. Well, Alison was the teacher. We bought a video camera way early. And we had like the big handy cam things, you've seen them, yeah. So we had one of them as soon as I started fighting by myself, we had a handy cam, and Alison would pick up the best spot on the radio, and she was really good videoer as well.
All over it.
Yeah, and she'd video that, and we'd go home, and I had 2 TVs and 2 video players.
And you just watch it.
And I'd put a video player in of the American guys that I used to watch, and then I'd put in join the handy cam to the other TV, and they'd be both running at the same time, and I'd be just watching backwards and forwards, like figuring out, look where his feet are here, and look at the way the bull's shoulder is, and then we pretty much figured it out together.
Fuck, that's cool. Yeah. Just quickly, because we've been referring to Alison a lot. Allison's wife?
the girl I met when I was 10 years old on the beach. But yeah, we met again.
Are you guys married or just?
Yeah, we've been married for 36 years.
Oh, don't fuck that up,
Teka.
You get a backhand when we go around there later. Boom.
36 years. Yeah, 2 kids, Danielle and Shayna.
Yep.
Which they're amazing. They both still always around, always been...
they were on the road with you, right?
When we were rodeo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all this early stuff that I'm telling you about, we didn't have kids.
Yep.
We were unmarried by then.
Yeah.
So 18, 19, and then I think we were married at 20, maybe 21.
You got married at 21?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 55.
55. All right.
Well, it might be 56. I was born in 1969.
I'm not doing
that.
I'm not doing Sunday.
That. You do it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that was it. So that became the job, and then you have a partner that you work with, which you sort of get into tune with.
Yep.
But yeah, the learning.
A partner is in like a bullfighting partner.
Has to be 2.
There's always 2.
There's always 2. Minimum of 2 in a rodeo, and I think where you get to the bull rides that you see on TV these days, there's 3.
There's 3. I've seen that. Yeah, I was gonna say, I swear I've seen a video of it with 3.
Yeah, 3. So yeah, you just figure out their dynamics. And if I could quickly explain it, I suppose, let's say a bull's just hunting you down. Forget the rider for the minute. They're just chasing you.
They're after you.
And they're still bucking sort of at the same time because they have a flank strap on. And the flank doesn't hurt anything. It's not tied to their nuts or anything like that, which is a fallacy, a whole bunch of thing. It's just a pretty loosely draped rope, and it gives them the ability to... They want to buck up. They don't just buck out and buck flat. They buck up and arch their back away from the rope type thing. So it helps with that.
Why do they buck?
Why do they buck?
Is there a rope around the nuts?
No.
That's not true at all.
Oh, no.
There's no... That's a complete bullshit.
100% bullshit. I've never seen a rope around anything's nuts.
Shut up. But like, who's spun this? Who's come up with that? Like, I've always just assumed, the poor bull, he's got a rope around his nuts. No wonder he wants to kick it off. He's fucking...
Yeah. No,
his gonads are just getting
it's near where they are, but it's definitely... It doesn't even touch them.
So they're bucking just because of the discomfort of having a weird rope on and they just want to get it off.
Yeah, imagine if we had Dutch sitting in here and we just put a rope
on his back.
Well, not where the rider holds onto, because we ride up near the front shoulders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the flank is the one that's at the back legs. So it would be like in between his dick and where his balls are, in that flanky area. And it would be literally, you can put your hands underneath. It's not anything. It's hardly tight.
Really?
Every now and then they might put a little bit of different tension on.
Depending on the bull?
Yeah, and sometimes they hip them. They'll pull that over a hip bone. Right. So one leg might be wanting to that's uncomfortable on that leg, which gets them to turn to the left a bit better.
Okay, yeah.
There's a little bit of trickery to that sort of thing, but yeah, there's no pain in a flank. I've never seen an injury from a flank.
Wow. That's so interesting, because I've always been under the impression, and everyone I've ever spoken to, every time that we've ever watched any sort of rodeo, everyone's just like, they're going skitch because they're trying to get that rope off their nuts.
No, they buck because they want to buck. They buck because if you see that bull buck, the guy that owns them tested 100 before he got that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you see something buck that's on TV,
it's taken he's been filtering for years to get the bucker.
Well, even that year.
You're cranky.
He got through 100 before he found that one that could buck properly. Yeah. Like, it's a big breeding program now.
Wow, far out. Okay.
So to go back to the dynamics, if he's chasing you or hunting you down type thing, and he's bucking sort of at the same time, or even really running. So if his front feet are on the ground, there might be a little bit of lean to it. He might be able to change legs here and there a little bit, but he can't do anything. His head now has a perimeter. He's locked into that perimeter because his front feet are on the ground and his back feet are in the air. So he can't really do anything except he can't go anywhere. Them feet are planted pretty much. There might be a little bit of movement, a little bit of lean, which will give you an extra 2 or 3 inches here and there. But until them back feet hit the ground, I can be millimeters with my face on him, with my back on him, with all that sort of stuff. And that's the ability of learning it. Once you can sort of have that vision of figuring out when and the timing, when the back feet are going to land, the back feet are going to land. And literally he can only jump, which we know how far it could be. Let's say it's 5 foot, 4 foot. Then front feet are going to move and he's probably going to drag you into some way. So I'll put him in a way that's harder for him to get to a better position. And then slide out. Front feet hit the ground, and then you can take him back the other direction. And as long as the back feet are in the air, I've got all the time that the back feet are in the air to do what I want.
Wow, okay.
And that's slowed down, obviously.
That makes complete sense now that you've explained it. Yeah,
sure. It's just he can't do anything. Them feet are planted, and he's only got that much room. And there's horns involved, so there's a bit of dynamics to that.
Do they have like sharp horns?
No.
They grind them down, huh?
They cut them off.
Like this much?
By law, it's a 20-cent coin. So whatever, if they got big racks like that, and usually they can be quite deep. You've seen the Mexican bulls or the Spanish bulls.
Yeah.
They go through people all the time.
Yeah.
They will be cut off to a 20-cent piece. That's the law.
And I mean, if a bull's whipping hard enough, they can jam a 20-cent piece straight through you, right?
No. I've been hit quite hard, and all it does is
give you a mega fucking bruising.
Break bones and tear skin.
Shit.
Yeah, they fucking hurt sometimes. Oh, I've literally walked out of the arena feeling like I was crying, eh?
Wow. So, so this is when we've gotten into bullfighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when was the point that you went to the US? You lived in Texas, correct?
Yep.
And you did how long there?
3 months.
And was like, I mean, shit, I'm sure you got some crazy stories from there. But so, why did you go there?
Well, I think it's the
rodeo capital of the universe.
Yeah, it is. It's a proven thing, proving grounds.
Yeah. So you went there to fucking show. Well, if stamp your ground.
It would have been terrible to get to the end of your career and not know where you sort of stood in like a world ranking, or at least got over there to see it. And I was sad that Alison never got to come over as well. And the girls, we tried super hard to get like work permits, or because the girls would have had to go to school, and there was a lot involved in it.
You would have stayed longer if they could get all those things?
If I could have got a work permit and taken the girls over there?
If the girls could have come, would you have stayed longer?
Oh, yeah, I would have made that a career for
years.
A good while.
Yeah.
I don't know if the longevity would have stayed as long as it did over here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would have. There was a lot of bullfighters over there that were in the 35-year age bracket type thing, but still good. Like they're a bit, I think they're quieter. Once I got over there, I figured out that the bulls over there are not as savage.
Not as cranky?
No.
Really?
There might be, the level of crankiness in the ones that are cranky. There's no difference in that bull.
Yeah.
But it's the percentage of them.
Really interesting.
Like, if we buck 100 bulls in, especially when I was doing it, I think it's gone a little better now. Maybe they're a bit quieter.
Yeah.
But if we bucked 100 bulls here in like the national finals, 60 of them would want to eat you. Like just proper savage.
Just
savage.
Looking to kill.
Yeah. Looking to just mow you down. Where over there it would have been, could have been 25%.
Really?
Yeah. They're quite happy to do their job, buck, finish, and leave the arena.
Go home and eat some hay.
And it's different. Yeah. The bullfighters seem to work over there, not out of super hookiness. There's definitely hooky bulls that, do their work. But yeah, the main job of them bullfighters pretty much nowadays is hang-ups, and, obviously if a rider falls right in front of one, they're still going to mow you down. That's their game.
Yeah, they're just charging along, huh?
So yeah, I just think that they claim their ground. That's what it is.
A bull?
That's what I think it is. Yeah, they're just dominant over the space that they own.
Right.
Yeah, especially when they get out into the arena like that.
Yeah.
Like if I was to say it, let's say the bull runs out into the arena. He's bucked his rider off. Everything's safe. Rider's got back to the chutes, but he's not going to go back to the catch pen. Catch pen means where he goes back out the back. In order for me to get myself in a position to start the fight or to turn him, so I come around him and slowly and drag him by doing circles around him until I get him to the catch pen. And then he realizes like, oh shit, I'm in the catch pen.
Oh shit, this guy just tricked me.
Because he was so focused on trying to get me.
Yeah.
I can walk across the arena if I'm meek and really soft. I can fold my shoulders in. I can not look at him. Like pull your hat down over your eyes a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Not really pay much attention to him, and you can get around. And then all I'd have to do once I was in the position where I wanted to start the fight from, it's just stand like that.
Like fucking come on then.
Just show your chest, lift up and look, and they're just like,
fucking let's go.
Yeah, I'm on. Let's go.
Let's fucking have it.
Yeah, they're super smart.
Wow, that's crazy, man. What the fuck?
Really smart.
So what, you did 3 months there? But you just went like, was there like a scholarship or anything, or was it just like, I want to go over there and put my skills with the big hitters and see what I got?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That was it. It was proving grounds. I wanted to know how I could do over there, and if it worked out good and I could get the family back and we could get work permits, we'd try and make a go of it over there.
Yeah.
And at the time when I got there, which was 86.
Yeah.
86, I think. Let's see. 86? 96. Shit. Anyway, it was the year Shane was born. When I left...
96.
96. When I left... 86 is way too early.
Yeah.
When I left, Shayna was crawling. And when I got back, she ran at me down the airport.
Far out.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, that would be heavy.
Yeah. But anyway, I never got to go back, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
We were home then.
So 3 months, and like if you're going over there to do that,
yeah,
because you're bullfighting, you're getting paid like straight away. The second you jump into that arena, you're getting paid. Is that how it works?
Yeah, as soon as you get a job.
Okay.
And they didn't give me a job to start with. I think if I go back a little bit, at the time the PBR was starting, which is the biggest association, PBR, Professional Bull Riders Association.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a breakaway from rodeo. Where you turn up at a rodeo, there's bulls and the saddle bronc and bareback and calf roping and steer wrestling, all the different rodeo events, which is like a whole day event. And then we broke that away. Well, they broke it away to start with, and then we followed suit. We picked the best 45 bull riders in the country, and they all get on, if not twice for the night, or once for the night, and then they have 10 in a final. And then so I went over there and just tried to get into the bull riding, which is the PBR. And at the time, I don't know the exact numbers, but out of the top 45 bull riders in that country, I think there was 8 Aussies in the top 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, true.
Troy Dunn.
So Aussies are wicked at riding bulls then?
They were then. They still are now. There's a bunch that are over there that are still in the PBR circuit and the PRCA, which is the rodeo circuit. We definitely hold our own.
Yeah.
Troy Dunn, he won a PBR title. Queensland fella, big, solid bull rider.
Big lad, yeah.
Big lad, yeah, heaps. Dean Pace, Scotty Doyle, Ted Noose, like all that whole rodeo. That's back in the day. Jeez.
Wow.
So yeah, they were on the circuit, and then I went over there. Landed in Dallas Fort Worth, got picked up by Dean Pace, mate of mine Pacey, and we travelled around. We went to Oklahoma to start with and tried to get a few jobs up there, and then we moved to near Amarillo, top of Texas up there, Panhandle area. And I was trying to get jobs, and you go and speak to a contractor. That's the guy that either runs the show or owns the bulls. Yeah. And, tell him your story. Aussie bullfighter, won a bunch of titles, whatever. Yeah. And they're like, mate, I shake a tree over here and 10 bullfighters fall out of it. I'm like, yeah, but are they any good? He's like, well, they're doing the job. I'm like, fair enough, whatever. So he couldn't get a job. And then I was at the World Finals in Houston. And I wasn't trying to get that job, but on the way home from there, we were trying to get some work. I was trying to get this job, and there's Plainfield in Oklahoma, and there's Plainview in Texas, where the big cyclone went. And I'm talking to the contractor, and he's like, can you do it? I'm like, look, I can fight bulls, mate. He's like, yeah, I know, but I got 2 bullfighters. And then Troy was over there. Troy just won the world finals at Houston that night. And he's like, Teka, I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, mate, how you going, Troy? And then he's like, what, are you trying to get work? And he's like, yeah. I said, they got plenty of bullfighters. I don't know if I can do it or not. And Troy's just like, I just won the world title. And he just looked at the contractors and went, he can do it.
Easy, man.
He can do it. And that was it. Got a job, went good. Got another job, went good. Done.
Yep. And then
you were in.
You came back after 3 months purely for the girls, like because you wanted to come back to the family, or?
Yeah. Well, I could have renewed my visa and been by myself, but there was very little chance of actually trying to get over there and get a work permit at the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a green card. I couldn't get anything. We actually tried a few little ways and got into a bit of trouble. I think one of the guys, I won't mention his name, but he was almost like a sponsor. We lived with him for a little bit, and I don't know if he went through with it, but he was in the process of just like, because for example, I needed to have 25,000 US in an account in order to support 2 children and a wife without a job, because I didn't have a green card, so I wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And there would have been something that would have gone on somewhere, how they wrote my checks at the rodeo. So it was a little underhanded already. And
so
difficult.
were you getting paid cash then?
No, we were getting checks.
So
very little cash. Some of the little jackpots we did were cash, but all the time that I rodeoed, we got checks, which were hard to cash. We actually were living in a place called Tulia, which is, say, Amarillo's Nowra. Tulia would be Milton. Yeah, a small little town.
Yeah.
Oh, remind me about Dan Tucker. I'll tell you about Dan Tucker.
Yeah, please.
What was I saying? Oh, Tulia. So, yeah, we'd get checks, and we didn't have bank accounts. So we had this guy that owned, like, the supermarket, like the local IGA.
Yeah.
And the fee was on Thursdays or Wednesday, I think it was Wednesdays. On Wednesday nights, me and Pacey would go to the supermarket, and he'd put on a couple of beers, and he'd have some sausage sizzle or cook up a few steaks.
Yeah.
And all we had to do was talk to the staff as Australians, travelling around, telling them about the country and telling them about rodeo, and just sit and talk and have a few beers, and then he'd cash our checks. That was like our payment.
And then
come and have a beer.
You give him the check, he'd give you the cash.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah, then we were good.
Wow, cool.
And then, because I wasn't, Pacey's been to more states than most Americans. I reckon I've been to more states than most of the people in Tulia.
Yeah.
In America.
Right.
They're a little bit timid to get around sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch that do, obviously, but then you get to them little small towns and they're just, hell no, I'll go on the freeway.
Yeah, fully, yeah. Bit sheepish, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, shit. Okay, so you did 3 months there.
Yep.
You came back for the girls, essentially.
Yep.
And then did you keep bullfighting when you got back?
Yeah.
To Oz?
Yep.
And so for how much longer did you continue to do that?
I didn't finish fighting bulls until I was 39 years old, 38 years old.
Right, you're 55 now?
Yeah, I fought for 25 years.
Shit.
Like the longevity of a bullfighter is usually, there's an odd few, but it's 12 to 15 years, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And then they're beaten, busted and done.
Oh, fucking bet.
Yeah, they break you.
Getting snapped by a big old bull.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much sometimes. You sit on TV and, you'll see the bullfighter get thrown or you see the rider get thrown and it sort of looks like it's all good. But, 9 times out of 10, you've just cracked a rib or, you've dislocated a finger.
And you've obviously had some pretty wicked injuries, huh?
In 25 years? Yeah, I've had a couple.
Give us the run through.
Or
just a few. Just some of the crackers, some of your worst ones.
Some of the worst ones.
Yeah.
One of the worst healing ones was one trod on my foot one day, and then as he trod on my foot, he lifted me up, so it sort of stretched me out and broke, 3 across here, and then the big toe.
Yeah.
So that's a shit one to heal from. You know what I mean? You're trying to walk around.
Yeah.
Jindabyne rodeo in, I don't even know the year, whatever. Fighting this pretty quiet bull, not hooky at all. Like he'll blunder over you. And then I just made the wrong move, and pretty much as he swung his head super hard, I ran in and he hit me in the chest with his horn. And I used to wear a full, like a motocross brace, or pads underneath it. Just it's just disintegrated and broken into pieces and flew out of my shirt pretty much. I've hit the ground and just like, and
So
instantly
weird.
as I'm breathing, I cracked my sternum straight down the middle.
Holy shit.
Which is, if anyone doesn't know what the sternum is, that's what the ribs are all held together in the middle. It's protecting your heart.
So it's keeping your heart in, yeah.
And then, so I've hit the ground and just laid there for a second and then thinking about rolling over. And he's that quiet that he didn't even run over me. He just sort of turned to the right, but he was still bucking. And as he come down, his foot just hit me here and pushed over to the side.
Again, so you got...
Right on the same spot.
Wow.
And broke, I don't know how many ribs, 4 or 5 ribs on one side. Maybe something here. One of the ribs spiraled round, a spiral fracture through the rib into the vertebrae type thing, which fucking hurts so much. And I'm laying there on the ground, just with no inclination whatsoever to breathe in. Just like, I can't breathe. And my partner, Mick Johnson, he's come over and he's trying to talk to me. And as he's talking to me, I remember just sort of reaching up. I think I grabbed his mouth or grabbed his head and pushed his mouth under my mouth to talk as he was talking. And I think he just blew air into my lungs and it felt like a Coke bottle. I'm sure it was Mick. Felt like a Coke, you crush a Coke bottle and you blow it back up, pop, 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 pop. It felt like all my ribs and shit were popping back up and then I could finally breathe and it's terrible.
Whoa,
so I sort of tore some muscles off my spine and had a bit of a kidney belt brace bracket thing on my back. Alison was pregnant at the time with Danielle and we had a big F100 or F150, maybe the F100. Huge, big 34-inch tyres on it, you can imagine.
Big truck, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the way home, we get a flat tyre and I'm useless, you know what I mean? I'm standing there with my hands in my pockets trying not to move me back.
Yeah.
And Alison's out there just lugging these tyres off with 8-month belly.
Holy shit.
And the abuse from the traffic going past was insane. What are you doing, mate?
You fucking useless prick. Get out there and up you go, you lousy git.
I'm trying to push the lever down with my foot and she's just lugging on it with 2 hands.
Have a go, you useless idiot.
Big belly on her.
Oh, shit.
Pretty insane.
That's hectic.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Fuck, it's crazy, like copping it, boom. And then him coming along and just giving you another whack.
The same spot.
Fuck.
So much pain, I remember it.
Oh, what the hell?
The knee's been reconstructed twice. Shoulder's been reconstructed 6 times.
What operations?
Yeah.
You've had 6 shoulder operations.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was bad. I pretty much, that's the socket and that's your shoulder there like that. I think this cracked and just opened up. So they had to get in there and wire it back together and then they honed it out. So instead of being flat, it sort of had some sort of curve to it. And yeah, it was horrible. It was shitty. That was a bad one.
Fuck. Holy shit, man. That's fucking full on. I think plumbing's hard on the body.
Plumbing?
Yeah. Like, geez, plumbing's a bit hard on the body. I reckon getting belted by a bull over and over again would probably take the cake, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you get a bunch of stitches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell a story though.
Getting split all the time, huh?
Pacey. I'd been to the States with Pacey. We'd come back and we were doing the CBR, which is before it became the PBR in Australia.
Yeah.
And he's, we're in Varel, way out west out there. And he's on a bull called Freckles Brown. Now, most bulls, if they hit you, let's just say I'm running in front of the thing, and if he hits you, they usually hit you and you fly through the air a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you can do it right and get the balance right, you can sort of fly through it and land on your feet and keep on running.
Yeah.
Freckles Brown was a bull that every time he hit you, he just banged downwards. So if he hit you as you were running, you crumpled to the ground every time.
Wow.
Anyway, Pacey's at this rodeo one time, and he's riding, and he's got slung out on his rope, so he's like back to his fingers, and he's like almost at the back, which is too far. You should be right up like this.
Yeah.
And he's getting slung, and it pops his hand, and then that's obviously sends you back towards the back of the bull. And as it kicked up, it kicked him on the back, so he's just cartwheeled backwards. You know what I mean, like doing backflips off it.
Yeah.
He's come down. The first thing that hits the ground as he's back flipping this way is his fingertips, then his hands, then his wrists, and he landed pretty much on the back of his head and just crumpled. So his head's almost at his dick.
Shit.
And he's just in this like inverted position with his legs like that.
What did he break?
He didn't break anything. He might have hurt himself somehow, I don't know, but not much. He's just got knocked out. He's unconscious. But he didn't move from that position. All this upside down, inverted, like his neck's in the worst position ever. And Freckles has done like this little lap, and he's coming back, and he's just going to drive into him on the ground. And I know in my head straight away, I'm like, just go and break Pacey's neck.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much just got to my position, stepped over Pacey and took 2 steps and just was like, I'm not even moving. And he just come at flat out pace. And then he hit me that hard that he drove me back like that, jumped over Pacey, didn't even touch him. By then people had run out. I think the bull left, whatever. I'm unconscious over there. They reckon I went 16 or 18 metres in the air.
Oh my God.
Like so far.
What the
and then
heck,
smashed
man?
into smashed into something, some metal, the catch pen or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And then so they've picked me up, they've carried me out the back, they've picked Pacey up and carried him out the back, and we're both unconscious on either side of the chute.
Wow.
And then they've woke Pacey up. And like normally when you wake people up, especially rodeoing, you'll tell them what they did wrong.
Yeah.
More chest. You need more chest because you seem to remember that. You know what I mean? Like that first thing you hear when you wake up.
Yeah.
And the first thing they said to him, which is played on his head his whole life because he's never forgotten it. He's like, man, Teka just took a wreck for you so bad. And that's the first thing he heard. So we've been brothers ever since. Well, we were brothers in the States, but from that moment on. So I've woken up at the other end too, like, how's Pacey? He's awake? Yep. And you know where you are? I'm like, whew, not really.
No.
And then, so I've sort of woken up, and then I'll tell you, there's a guy there, he's one of the contractors. He's like, yeah. So I sat up, got my breath together. Comedy clown goes out. If something like that happens, they send out the other bullfighter or a comedy clown.
What's a comedy clown?
Just that does tricks and takes the mind off something, does a little act that might last 5 minutes.
So people aren't thinking about the comedy.
Well, they're just still entertained, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
something happens. Some girls might come out to dance, but they'll give us a break. And I finally wake up and still dazed. And like normally if it was, normally they'd probably make you stay out the back, but back then it was wild old days,
Mm.
Yeah, go on, get back out there, mate, you'll be right. And like, you know where you are? I'm like, nah, I still don't know where I am. I'm definitely at a rodeo or a bull ride, but I know what's your name. Yeah, I said, I'm like, you know all that shit, but I don't know where the fuck I am.
Mm.
He's like, yeah, righto. You need a drink. I'm like, yeah, I do. Give me some water. And he's handed me a Coke bottle with about this much Coke in it, probably full of backwash or whatever. I remember looking at it like, why do I want to drink this?
Yeah.
I don't want your Coke. No, drink that, Teka, drink that. I don't want to drink your Coke. He's like, yeah, drink it. So I'm like, right, whatever, give it to me. So I drank it and sculled it down. It was almost salt Coke. So I don't know how much speed was in it or whatever, but I just
they've just
it just lit me up. And I remember just sitting there for a second, and it was like, it was like there's, the circus music comes on. It was like that. Something was like whining, and all the noise come back and all the lights come back on, and was just like, whoa, ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, probably not the best thing to do, but that's what happened.
And
but I wasn't aware what they were giving me. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
yeah.
I don't want your Coke. And then as soon as I had it, I'm like, I know what that is. And
actually,
then,
I do.
Yeah, now I do. I don't know what it was. Probably something to go fast with.
Probably speed, yeah.
Yeah.
So
hectic.
So like when you'd get pummeled and hurt, like if there wasn't other rodeo clowns there, would you get pummeled, hurt, taken off for a bit, and they'd just dose you up, or they'd just give you something and just send you back out? Like you'd be broken, sore, wounded, and you'd have to go back out, right?
Yes, mostly. Unless you were completely incapacitated and your bones were broken and you couldn't get it back out there. But probably in my whole career, I only got knocked out for like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 times I was able to go back. And that was the only time that I was ever dosed like that.
Yeah.
All the rest of the times I just pretty much woke up and was aware of the situation.
You're
At
good,
one time,
you're good. Get back out there, boy.
Yeah, I'm good. Just give me another minute or something.
Yeah.
And it was all right. One was just kicked under the chin, probably like an uppercut from a bull, and just like took 2 more steps and fell on the ground. Everybody jumped on top of me and dragged me back to wherever I was. And then, it's a pretty good family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's looking out for each other.
Yeah, and they leave it to us because we're the guys getting paid and we're the pros doing it. But if shit goes wrong,
the boys are in there helping.
Yeah, there's never any bad feelings about anybody coming in to do unless I think that I thought that it was unneeded for you to come in. And you might see that sometimes, like a brother will come in, and that's only because they practice in their pen at home all the time. And the brother's the guy that jumps over the fence and saves his brother. Yeah. So I was,
not literally brother. They call him the brother.
No, a real brother or something like that. You'd see that a bunch. Like a real good mate or a brother would be like, because they practice at home all the time, and they're the guys, because they'd practice without a bullfighter.
Yeah.
Most of their bulls are pretty quiet. And then, if something was going wrong, the brother or the best man there would be jumping over the fence. So sometimes that just sparks into them and it happens, and then they're like, oh fuck, we're unneeded. Yeah. And then, but if it's needed, never
it's
a
welcomed.
problem. Yeah, it's just it's a safe thing.
Yeah. So let me check this, because I don't want to get this wrong. So I've got written down here, 13-time Australian Bullfighting Champion in 3 different associations.
Yes.
Do you want to like explain? So, how do you become a bullfighting champion? Is it a competition or?
No, it's a vote by the riders.
Right.
Yeah, it's a vote by your peers type thing.
And so you're 13 times. Is that like 13 consecutive years, like separate years, or how does that?
No, it wasn't. There's separate years. There were some gaps in between, but the ABCRA rodeo is the big conglomerate, and then there's the southern zone in that, and then obviously the western zone, northern zone, all that sort of thing. So I would win the southern zone bullfighter of the year, and then you go to the national finals if you got the job at the national finals, and then at the end of the national finals, so in the southern zone, this is all the boys that would travel in the Southern Zone Rodeo Association, which is, like I said, from all along to the border. And that's all the other choir boys as well, Queensland Cowboys, whatever. Some people could drift into that association. You can ride anywhere you want.
Yeah, right.
So I won that title a bunch of times. And then you win the Australian title, which is where all of them zones are under the umbrella of the ABCRA.
They're all compiled.
Yep, Australians, Bushmen's and Camp Draft Rodeo Association.
Yep.
And you'd win that. Same thing, voted on by the Cowboys, voted on by the riders. And then it moved into the CBR, which was Championship Bull Riders, which is the association that was before PBR. And then you win that in that. That's when it went from being a rodeo to just designated top 45 cowboys and bull riders in the country, and they'd either get on 2 times to get a winner, or they'd all get on once and a short go. Actually, some rodeos were everybody got on twice, and then there was a short go. Short go being the final. It was just the top 10 highest scores. Yeah. So voted out of them guys, they'd all just chuck their name in the hat.
They're just going, all right, who's the best? Teka, boom, boom, boom. Everyone's just voting. You were the man.
Yeah. Well, in the times that I won, for sure, yeah.
Wow, crazy, man.
Yeah.
Far out.
And the training was good. The training, this is another part that I probably should talk to you about. When all this first started, I was meditating and thinking about it, and I was all the time. It was on all the time.
Yeah. So
the whole day. And by the end of the day, I'd be so exhausted and so tired because I was on all day. You know what I mean? I didn't have any switch off points.
Yeah.
So there's a book out there called Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know if you've ever heard about it. Right. So just for example, what they'd say was, if you can close your eyes, I used to put headphones on to do it. Put headphones on, put some blinkers on, blindfold, whatever like that, sit down, meditate, get your thinking there. And then I'd used to try and do it to start to ride, and then it moved into fighting.
Yeah.
So it's just imagine all the things that can happen. You know what I mean? Left, bull spins right, all that sort of thing. Or if it come fighting, my hands here. But I never had enough memory or enough time to stay in it. So I'd go and sit in the lounge chair, put the earphones on, get myself meditated down, sit nice and quiet. And I never seemed to have enough when I'd clock it on, beep, and then try and meditate about it. I'd click off, and, when I felt like I wasn't present anymore, it'd be 3 minutes or something. I'm like, that's terrible. That's not enough. So I changed that into same thing, same process, blindfold on, earphones on, and then I'd just sit there and I'd think that I would leave the house, walk to the car, sit in the car, turn the key on, put it in gear, reverse out the driveway, down the driveway, and do it at the right speed because, if you could do it flat out if you wanted to, and that would just shorten the meditative time that you were actually switched on. So, and then I'd drive to Nowra, up to the lights, turn right through Milton, down Stony Hill, you know what I mean? And then once I did that the first time, I clocked on my watch and I'm like, wow, that was like 20 minutes. I was just self-meditating.
Yeah.
Because it's like, imagine me and you were having a conversation on the job site. And then there's this guy talking and that guy talking, and you can hear the radio playing whatever song you can hear playing and all that sort of stuff. But then we get locked in onto a conversation that we're really keyed into. Man, tell me about that super wave that you caught in, whatever.
Yeah.
But the radio goes away.
Yeah.
And we can't hear that other guy anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're sort of like our
senses become so honed in.
Yeah, it's like, I think what happens to me, I could be wrong, but this is how I thought about it. It's like you got your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. And then me and you were talking consciously, and the subconscious is just off around listening to all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when we get zoned in on it and we concentrate so hard that the subconscious comes and joins in.
Yeah.
Which pushes the radio away. And then I started to realize that to me was a bit of a switch. And then once I figured out this meditative thing of driving in the car and locking myself into self-meditation, that I could have a switch. I could be in the middle of a conversation with you in the rodeo, and then all of a sudden he'd be just about to nod his head and be just like,
yeah,
in. And that way heart rate was better, energy monitoring was better. You know what I mean? I wasn't super meditative and stayed on the game the whole day. I could just switch off, switch on, and that was a key for me to be able to do it
like for as long as you did.
I think so. Yeah, because instead of just either not being on or staying on the whole time, if you had that switch, and that can work for everything, you know what I mean? I think it can work for if you want to concentrate on what you're doing with your business, or what you're concentrating on doing, as a father or as a family member or something like that, trying to run your farm or trying to do whatever like that. That switch that I learnt through that sequence has helped me
with everything,
I think, forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Crazy.
Just even in the way I brought up the girls and talked to the girls, and I just think that it was a better way, a good way for me anyway, you know what I mean? Not so wild, and I just had that self-meditative thing and self-hypnosis thing, if you want to call it like that.
And once you learn it, it was just like a skill you had forever, huh?
It's a switch now. It's still the same switch.
Wow.
Like something that can be going on now. Like a quick example, which I think it's the same sort of thing. Danielle's off riding in the paddock on a horse one day, and she's out there riding around doing a thing, like off in the distance. They'd have gone out bareback riding. She was a good rider. And then I'm in the middle of conversation with somebody, talking, and then I remember just switching on and thinking about like that whole process of that, went into myself and I'm like, Danielle's just calling me pretty much, something's happened to Danielle. I remember walking through the paddock, and sure enough, the horse had flipped over and smashed a tooth out, busted all of her face up. But I felt that same mental feeling as what that switch is, of being the subconscious joining with the conscious mind to make it greater or better, came through when Danielle hurt herself, you know what I mean?
Fuck, that's crazy. I've heard that story actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's told me that one.
Man, you should see the photos. Whoa.
Oh, busted.
Yeah, busted. So bad.
What, did she just hit the ground and smash it all up? Or?
No, she did good, because she landed in long grass. So the horse reared up and she flipped off the back. I think the horse might have flipped right over, and she sort of pushed herself to the side, but she landed in long grass. Like, I'm talking Kayakuri grass this long. So she didn't hurt herself when she hit the ground, but she couldn't roll away. She was pretty much pinned in all this long grass. And when it got up, it stood on her face.
Whoa.
Knocked a tooth out. I think probably broke a nose, but it split this here.
Wow.
Like just open.
Right open.
Right open. And I remember going to the hospital, and they cleaned it all up and they did their thing, and next they turn up and they put these butterfly clips on it, but they didn't close it together. And I was just like, oi, this ain't it. Oh, no, we've got to... I'm like, no way. I said, you're not stitching it. Yeah, we'll have to stitch it. I was like, we're not stitching it. We're going to butterfly clip it. So they put the butterfly clips on. That's what I was upset about. But they didn't close it up. And I've looked at Danny. I'm like, you're out, step away. So I pushed I don't know if it was a doctor, probably a doctor, pushed the doctor out the way, pushed the nurse out the way. I'm like, you're not leaving like that. I said, she's a 12-year-old kid. You're not going to leave a lip fucking half split open like that.
Yeah.
Get out the road. I'll do this myself. So I cleaned up, put all my gloves on, did whatever. I said, Danny, it's going to hurt. I said, I got to clean it right now, which is scrubbing it with the little scrubs that you scrub it with.
Yeah.
So it all bled again. And then I said, I'm going to fucking push this thing together. And I've got all the butterfly clips on one side on, and I'm pushed and she's like groaning and doing whatever. I finally pushed this thing together, and so like it was just almost like a hairline, just with a red line.
Yeah.
Put these butterfly clips on and just and got it back together, and you can barely see. You've seen the scar.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, well, you would have if I didn't fucking do it.
Yeah, like I didn't. Like,
have a look when you see tonight.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll come when we're having dinner. I'll have a look. Well, I'll ask her to show me so I can see.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Crazy. It seems like a fucking wild industry, the old cattle horse world. Shit.
Yeah, well...
Seems like the when there is a consequence, it's not just oops, you just slap your face and got a bit of a sting on the water. It's all, you get a hoof in the head or a horn up the butt or something. Like, you're just getting hammered.
It's hitting the reef, eh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. I say that, but surfing, yeah. All my injuries have been from surfing, so I guess everything has its consequences, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So, you said that you were 39 when you stopped bullfighting.
Yeah.
What was the reason that you stopped? Like, what was the end of your career?
I was done. I was tired.
Just tired.
Yeah, I think I used to feel like you'd get home from the rodeo and you'd think about that rodeo, and then you'd probably not think about things Tuesday and Wednesday, and by Thursday you were thinking about the next one and keen and ready to go, and that time frame shortened to actually, I didn't enjoy it until I left, and then it shortened again, and I didn't really enjoy it that much until I was there, and then it shortened again till I didn't really enjoy it until I was in the arena, and then it shortened until the time that it was just like, I'm only excited when I'm fighting them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think I limped for that last 2 years, you know what I mean? The knee was bad, it was hard.
Yeah.
Actually, we went to a rodeo in Foster.
Yep.
Danielle, Shayna both travelled with me. Alison didn't come, she was at home, she didn't come to this one. And we'd planned on, camping up there for the weekend, going to the beach, having, which they travelled with me the whole time. And we'd talk about everything, we'd talk about life, and we were always up all night, staying awake all night, talking about this and playing word games and proper adult conversations with little kids, you know what I mean? Yeah, to a point. But yeah, that whole educational learning thing on the road chat was, it was a great time. I'll never forget it. And they loved coming to them. And then, but I remember doing this rodeo, and this fella, Warren Howard, got on a bull. Can't remember the bull, but I know the horns were about this round at the side of his head. Anyway, same thing as what Pacey did. He got slung back off position, and then instead of like when Pacey's hand flipped out and he went out the back, he sort of hang on, and then it whipped him down just to the right, and his face hit the horn on the side. And I remember I was right behind it, and the hat went like a frisbee over my head. Almost, I don't know if it made a noise, but it felt like it made a noise. And he's out of it on the ground. And then the bull's done a bit of a circle. I remember jumping on him. So sometimes when a bullfighter or a bull rider's on the ground, if they're awake, I'll do everything I can and put myself as a decoy so it hits me and drags me out the road, or I'll fly through the air. So it sort of follows me out. But if they're unconscious, like if you're awake, I can hit you in the gut or kick you in the gut or the belly. Yeah. And you've got some sort of tension thing. It's going to hurt, but you know what I mean? There's a tension thing there. If you're asleep, I'm going through everything. Yeah. So, and I've seen it because I've seen a bull tread on a boy years back, and I think it broke his spleen or something like that, but he just didn't have any muscle tension in his belly whatsoever because he was unconscious. So I tend to fall into the category of, as soon as they were unconscious, I would dive on top of them, and then their head would be here, and my torso was covering their torso. Their legs, whatever happened to their legs happened. But so I remember diving on him, and the bull ran around over the top of us for a second and get a bit of a shove and a push. And there was another 2 bullfighters with me, this one, Dan and Webby. And clear, Teka, clear. So I sort of get up, and just as they're saying clear, he's sort of half starting to convulse a little bit. So I remember moving back and looking at him, and he's got there's blood coming here and blood here, and there's blood here and here and here, and there's blood. I thought it was coming out of his ears, but it had actually come out of his mouth and run into his ears at the time that I was laying on him. Anyway, he's half choking and doing whatever. So I run my hand up his spine and hold onto his hair, and we roll on to the side like that, and then big clot of blood come out of his mouth, like a big, like something about that, half that size.
Yeah.
And all the bones in his face moved, and his eye half fell out. Like it fell out far enough that I could see the telephone line at the back of it.
Oh, fuck.
And he's breathing and choking, and he's finding it. So I've got my thumb and I've pushed his eye back in.
Yeah.
As soon as I pushed his eye back in, he just sort of like went, and that was it.
Dead.
Well, he didn't seem to breathe in again. And then I get the call, fucking Teka, look out, wake up. There's a bloody bull's coming back again. So I roll him back and then lay over him again. And I can't remember if it ran over us or not. Might have just run past us or whatever. And then I get the all clear again. Clear, Teka, clear. And that's in the catch pen then. So we've got a safer in. I'm yelling at the ambos, come on in. And they're like, we're not coming in with the bull in the arena.
Yeah.
And boys couldn't get into the arena. And then, so he's laying there, he's half not moving whatsoever. So I'm sort of like whacked him on the chest a few times, and I didn't want to slap him in the face because I figured his face was broken.
Probably pop his eye out again.
Yeah, pop his eye out again. And so I remember like punching him, and I'm yelling at him, screaming at him, Warren, how do you wake up, blah, blah. Anyway, the ambulance finally gets in, and I get moved out of the road. They put the oxygen on him. As soon as they put oxygen on him, I think they might have put him on the side again, and more blood come out of his mouth, and they put the oxygen on him. And then I don't think they give him defib or anything, but he just, as soon as they give him oxygen and started pumping it into him, he must have started breathing again.
Fuck.
And I've come out of the arena, and everyone's just come at me with water bottles, and they're pouring water all over me. I'm like freaking out, what's going on? And then I look down, and I'm just covered in blood. And then literally I walked to the back of the arena, and I looked to the right, and there was Danielle sitting on the hill, his daughter, and Shayna. And that was this decision.
And you were just like,
I've dodged that. Probably exact scenario. I don't even know how many times. Let's say 250 times by millimeters over this career.
Yeah.
I'm like,
enough.
I'm done. I'm out.
Fuck, so that was it.
Yeah, and then I fucking nearly chopped my finger off on the very next bull because I wasn't fucking in the head zone.
You weren't on because you'd already fucking distanced. You're already done.
I'm done, and I just remember. I still have a clear memory of it. And I still fought bulls for the rest of the night, but I had that thing in the back of my head. I just kept looking up at the hill because he's on the helicopter by then.
Yeah.
Danielle.
He survived?
Yeah, he survived. I'll tell you the rest of it in a minute, but you can see the finger here. See that split up here?
Yeah.
It's got the big thing in it. Took a skin graft off like that, completely folded my finger off. Degloved it, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And the doctor said if you'd broken the bone, I was going to chop it off.
Wow.
So they sewed it to the other finger and took a skin graft out of here and whatever. So I had to go down to Royal North Shore to do that. So I'm in the hospital that night after setting up the girls because I had to go to hospital then. And we had a big plan to go and, doing this holiday thing.
Mm.
So they're now getting looked after by one of my bullfighting mates, and they're good with it. I think he drove my car back down to Sydney. I went in an ambulance. And so I'm in the hospital. And he's sitting up in the hospital, and when I actually walked in, he's just pulling congealed blood like a stringer, just like congealed blood out of his nose, It's stretching and doing its thing. And he's like fully aware of everything.
Is this the guy that...
Yeah. I'm like, Warren. He's like, yeah, Teka, how's it going, mate? Because he actually got 52 fractures in his face.
Fuck.
Like a windscreen. Everything broke.
Whoa. How do you fix that?
I don't know. Anyway.
Just plates and shit.
Something like that. I don't know whether they plated him or not. Anyway, he's good now. He got up and... Anyway, yeah. So I seen him in that in the hospital at Foster, I think we're at. Maybe we were, I don't know, one of the hospitals. It's a bit blurry, that last bit.
Yeah, man.
And I see him, and he's in the hospital because they ambulanced him there to the hospital, and then they helicoptered him down to Sydney. And he's pulling stringers out of his nose, and I talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, got slung back on it." Like he's talking with a broken jaw and broken face and everything like that, sitting back on the bed. He's just starting to swell up, and there's blood coming out. And they're no big stitches everywhere, just like everything's like a big graze here, here, here. Like that's where the bull hit. That's how round his horn was. Like rounder than that, something like that.
Yeah.
Just like the whole face. And so yeah, he gets in the helicopter. I go to Sydney. We end up in the same hospital down in Sydney.
Yeah.
I've got to get microsurgery on my hand, and he's getting facial surgery. So I wake up, fingers good, I'm good. I check myself out, and well, get checked out that day. And I'm like, I want to check out on Warren Howard. And I was like, yeah, he's going in for surgery, whatever, or he's been in surgery. I can't remember now. And but you can go and see him up on floor 7. Floor 7's facial injuries or head injury trauma. I remember going into this room, and like everybody was just a pillow face.
What do you mean?
Just couldn't see anybody. All eyes shut, all noses shut, all tubes up noses.
Just swollen.
Just swollen faces. And I looked to everybody's face in this room and could not recognise him. And he's like, Teka. He's still awake. Like, you good? He's like, yeah, good. Got to go and get an operation. Got 50 fractures in my face. Like, must have just done every cheekbone and the nose, the whole deal. He wore glasses actually he probably still wore glasses, but he wore glasses for a while because I think things weren't setting straight here, but come good. His face went back pretty much to normal. And that's not uncommon. I've seen not as bad as that. Like there's a big one in America off a bull that Tough Hedeman broke his face the same way, broken jaws and stuff like that, but that collision thing to the top of their head or to their horns, it's not super uncommon. And that was it. I quit.
That was it.
And then they called me back 6 months later. I hadn't done any. And they called me back. Like, Teka, we got a run for you to do. We want you to come back. We've lost 2 bullfighters, blah, blah. And I sat there. I had my gear bag in my hand and my hand on the bonnet of the car. And it wasn't in the boot. And I sort of got to the point of like, if it goes in the boot, I'm going. If it doesn't go in the boot, I'm never going again. And I remember just slamming the boot, hoiking my bag over and kicking around the garden for a minute and go on the beach. See you later.
Yeah.
So I went and hung out on the beach.
Done.
Never went again. Picked up music then. Joined a band.
Yeah. Holy shit, man. That's so hectic.
Yeah, it was a rough one.
Did anyone die when you were doing it? Like, did people...
Yeah.
Yeah? People getting killed by bulls?
Mm-hmm. Couple.
Far out.
One that I was fighting at, but not anything to do with me. He just, if I remember it, he was a right-handed rider, and the bull went out, scooted to the right, which made his free arm that side, and the bull was sort of skipping sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Back feet, front feet, back feet, and then just clipped his feet, and then just the bull sort of like, and his head was at the end of the whip, and just hit his head to the ground, and that was it. Lights
out, boom, just like that.
Never woke up.
Fuck.
Full, I think broke something.
Just snapped.
No, I didn't break any bones, but the blood, I don't think he got blood to the brain or something, like so much swelling happened wherever it was that it...
It was instant?
I don't know. No, he died later in hospital.
Far out.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shit one.
That's a heavy industry, man.
And then the trudden on through the belly and stuff like that, through the spleens and...
Killed him?
Ruptured stuff inside, yeah, later on. He died later on. I wasn't fighting at that one, I just saw it.
Far out.
That's the only 2 I've seen.
Holy crap, man. It's a heavy game.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, yeah, you'd have to say it's rare. Like the world title guy back in the early days in the States, he died. He got a horn in his back here. And then it tore his aorta off his heart. But see, they've changed a bunch of stuff now. You see him, nobody when I did it wore a helmet. very rare. There might have been a few guys wearing helmets, and even if they did, they were shit helmets.
Yeah.
And then vests come in, so there's this high density foam that's about maybe 2.5 inches thick, 2 inches thick,
right,
and this leather vest that's around you, and that saves a bunch. They're really good.
Really?
Yeah, they're good. And now they're wearing, well, I suppose it started off as hockey masks to start with, but now they're designed.
It's almost like a gridiron helmet, hey?
Yeah, it's just a full proper helmet to save your head, and there's this like a clip down mask, clips onto the back, and you lick it on.
Yeah.
So it's,
I guess
fixes
that's
things up.
Necessary, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if you don't have to. There's plenty of guys that ride without the mask, and the helmet, but yeah, I think there's a certain age limit. You gotta wear a helmet if you're under 18 or maybe under 20. Not sure.
Right.
Not in that anymore.
Makes sense. Far out.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, man, that's far out. That's full on. What a crazy industry.
Yeah,
You're just getting trampled.
Yeah,
and your job is, essentially, your job is to protect someone's life. That's a pretty heavy weight to bear. Did it how did it affect you, like, mentally? How was your headspace? Like, were you would it shake you up sometimes, like after a good run of rodeos? Would it do your head in a bit, like seeing some pretty grim situations, or just having that pressure of being of keeping people alive? Was that?
No, I don't know if that came into it too much.
Okay.
Like, I know it made me be better.
Okay, yeah.
But I never...
It's a big responsibility, isn't it?
It is. But they still choose to ride.
Yeah.
It's not and the conversation that goes on with it is like, I suppose, we sort of all know, and you too, you all know that you're going to have an injury if you surf for reef or you surf guillotines all the time.
Yeah.
Eventually, out of the...
You're going to get hurt.
Yeah, 300 waves that you're going to catch over the next year, something's going to happen. You're going to cut your leg, or you're going to split your head open, or, it's eventually... It just seems to be a little bit more prevalent in that regard with that sort of thing. And the headspace... Like... The headspace of cowboys out the back of the chute just before it's all about to happen is such a... I suppose it's a testosterone filled,
they're just like,
wonderland. Yeah, but it's a very big psyche game. A lot of the time. Other times it's very still and steady. You see a lot of boys are very calm in it, but other boys are,
just going for it.
Yeah. Let's go. And you had to be a little bit aggressive in that game, you know what I mean? I had to be aggressive to fight them.
Yeah.
So, and that wasn't my thing. I'm not that aggressive type, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suppose I was a little bit more aggressive when I was younger, playing footy and doing whatever, yeah, you had to sort of break into that aggressive side.
Yeah.
But like, I always had it there, but I think I was always calm. Like, I had 2 little girls, man.
Yeah.
That whole time. And I think that was another part of it. 1 minute I'm out there and I'm fighting a bull and I'm getting thrown through the air and saving riders and doing whatever like that. And then you'd come out and the next event would be on that I wouldn't be in. And I'd come out and wash my hands, get cleaned up, take my shirt off or put a bib on or something like that. And then Danielle would be there and we'd get Danielle a sandwich and Shana would be here and you'd give her a bottle or change your nappy or something like that. And then whoosh, back into the game, which is where that switch came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was plenty of cowboys that I knew that were riders and good riders at the thing that had wives and had children, but they'd turn up at the start of the day and not speak to them for the rest of the day. And I was like, I'm fucking blown out of that.
Yeah, they just have to be on or off.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not how I ran. I was a dad. I was a family dad. You know what I mean? We did everything together. We still do everything together.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you see them.
I see. Shit, man, far out.
Yeah.
So, like, you were saying, like, I mean, you've got to be a bit of a tough nut, obviously, being in that sport. Were you ever a bluer, or what was it? What was it like in the cowboy scene? Like, I mean, you're saying there's a lot of testosterone. Was there ever, like, cowboys out the back punching on and shit, or like? Did you ever have any scraps when you were in the States? Like,
no,
never.
There was the odd fight that you'd see if you'd go to a rodeo and you'd turn up in a town, like Maruya was renowned for it. the bull riders would fight.
Yeah, they'd be punching on.
There's always be something going on at the pub, you know what I mean? You'd move a little bit out west and there'd always be, you know, some stockman wanting to wrestle with some cowboy or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sort of skirted around all that sort of stuff because I was married.
Yeah.
I was married. I had a wife. I had 2 children.
Yeah.
And I was the guy that talked on the radio or talked to the TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the bull riders, some of them did, but I could talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then plus I was the bullfighter, and you know, so if there was an interview happening, there was a fair chance that I'd get that, and then it would just be shit to be. I was never that guy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Turning up at the pub, I didn't drink.
Right.
So I stopped drinking at 21 till 31.
Really?
I did.
10 years off the squirt.
Well, no, I shouldn't say. Not 100%. I went to some parties and had a few drinks and got drunk a few times and had some hangovers and whatever parties. But
essentially not.
There's no way that I got to the level that I got to of doing that sport hungover.
Yeah. Probably. Fuck.
Yeah.
Not quite as simple as going and working at Coles hungover, eh? Rolling in there and wrestling.
No.
Like, yeah, how heavy is a bull?
On average?
Yeah.
650 up.
Kilos? I was about to say 300.
Nah, the little baby ones might be 400.
Oh, man.
There's a book called Earth, because some of the big ones, Earthquake, he'd be
close to a ton or something?
Yeah, he'd be a ton.
Shut up. What the fuck? That's crazy, man.
Feet like that.
Whoa.
There's a bull called Dozy. Dozy had the biggest feet I ever got on Dozy once. But yeah.
Shit.
Tell you a funny Earthquake was a big bull and they'd keep him away. He always used to sit by himself. We're at the National Finals rodeo in Tamworth one time and there's a big race wide enough to drive a truck down so they could just chuck the hay bales off the side. And Earthquake's in there. And he's
So that was his name, Earthquake?
Yeah, he's huge.
And what did they did they call him Earthquake when he was little? They knew he was going to be big, or like, yeah?
I don't know how that story came about. Yeah, probably. I'd say he would have been a big calf.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he got renamed when he was older or something.
Oh, he's a big boy. Let's call him Earthquake.
Yeah, but he was fucking, he'd bang the ground hard. Anyway, he's, if I'd walk down that, they call it the race, you know what I mean? So it's like a big long race and there was all pens on each side. And all the contractors are up there. And I would keep away from it because if I walked down there in my bullfighting clothes, it just upset them. So I never really, you know, you have to believe and understand here that everybody thinks it's wild. We talked about the flank strap and all that before. Mm-hmm. They're treated by contractors like they're children. And the breeding program that goes with it, they choose that cow to go with that bull or that cow and the semen straws that they'll buy from America. Mm-hmm. And the breeding program is, I think, as detailed as thoroughbred horses.
Right. Trying to make big, cranky,
athletic,
fucking crazy,
big-boned, small-necked, all the aspects that they think of, like more than I can tell you now because I'm not a contractor, but in the experience that I have, there's a bunch that go into now breeding what they have. Like they don't breed with cows that don't buck.
Wow.
Like crazy. You can have a cow that just looks a normal cow, but if you put her in the chute and ride her and she bucks,
she starts kicking,
some of the companies in America won't breed with a cow that doesn't buck over 80 points, which is a high score.
Shit.
Anyway, this race, so it's a big long race. If I walk down there in my gear, Earthquake would stand up. If I walk down there in my jeans and my hat and all that sort of stuff, he'd stand up. And he's a big solid bull, so you want him to have his downtime on the ground. So if he's down on the ground, you know, I'd pretty much, and most people would leave him alone. And I remember Danielle, I don't know why Shayna wasn't there, but there were 2 little girls. Danny's got this little fucking white and yellow jumpsuit on, little singlet and everything. And our thing was down there, and typically she would go around, but I don't know what happened one day, and I'm at the back and I didn't walk down the race, but she's walking quite down the middle, nice and easy. And then she sort of got to Earthquake, and Earthquake's still laying down. He didn't stand up, and she squatted down. It's like this little thing like that. She squatted down. She just reached in and she put a finger on his toe like that, and he didn't move. He just
a little scratch.
He just scratched on his toe, stood up, went back to the middle of the race, and then walked off. And everybody, I could see some of the contractors behind us. I don't know if they were the contractors. They're just well, there you go, eh?
Well, there
Power of the children.
Wow.
Yeah. Never forget that. Tamworth. I got a picture of us getting to that rodeo. I've got clown gear on. Alison's got a jean shorts on and a top, and then the two little girls are holding hands in there. Like this big, so little.
So were you did you dress up? Like, did you put this rodeo clown? Do you dress as a clown?
Not really. Mine was the clothing, I suppose. I wore, imagine a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then cut the legs and then cut the crutch out of it, so it's almost like a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe sew it back together. And then there's a whole bunch of tassels that were on it. This is how it started at the beginning. Tassels wore like bandanas.
Yeah.
There's probably a dozen bandanas all floating around, so it wasn't body contact on you. They'd be flipping through your clothes.
Yeah.
And then once it got into the bull riding association type thing where it was just the bull riding, I took all them tassels away and just wore shorts and a shirt with all pads underneath, but
padded up.
Yeah, so there was no thing. The body contact became probably more than double. So normally if I went to a rodeo, and that was the game. They touched me when I allowed them to, and I touched them when I wanted to.
When you wanted to.
And if they hit me when I wasn't wanting it to happen, that was almost like not a fail, but you don't want that.
Yeah,
I want the control all the time. Yeah. If I fly through the air, if I get that contact, it's when I want the contact. But if they do it out of them getting me, it's a fail. Yeah. And that's when they get you down. So that became a little more. If it was 3 steps before,
became 5.
Get in, save the rider, and then escape.
Yeah.
When it became bull riding and there was TV cameras in there everywhere and it was like a bit more intense, more money and more professional, step 3 went away. Get in, save the rider.
Yeah. And
however happened after that, that was up to your skill to stay.
That's up to you. Yeah.
So it got a little bit more intense towards the end there.
Shit, so it got worse.
Yeah.
Far out. Well, mate, I reckon we still got plenty to talk about here, so I might go have a quick piss. You need a toilet break or anything?
Yeah. You want to pause it for a sec?
Yeah, we'll pause for a sec.
Yeah, good.
And then we'll come right back.
Talk about stage 2. Right.
Yep. We'll call it part 1 and part 2.
Righto.
I had a feeling because I knew I've just got I feel like I'm only just halfway through the things I want to.
We've really only talked about bullfighting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I got a list of things that I want to talk about, and we've only spoken about bullfighting. So
all right.
Let's come back and dive into the other side of life aside from bullfighting, eh?
Yeah, do. Family.
Yep.
Music.
Yep. I'm keen to hear about music. Keen to hear about Mongolia and Nepal. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm keen to hear about that.
New Guinea.
Yep.
That's another one.
Okay. All right. Well, plenty more to come.
Righto.
Let's have a break.
Pause.